Oh, okay. Hello, chat. Forgot to turn on my camera, as per usual. Very typical. Huzzah! Huzzah! Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you, Chainsaw Scorn, for the follow. I've got a cat here. I don't know if you can tell, but she's there's some catnip on the desk now, and she's going hard on the catnip. Hello, everybody. Yo, look at this card I got in the mail, chat. Look at this fucking card. Is Disco Stew here? Does Disco mind if I show this card on stream? Because I will, because it's a fucking awesome card. I'll wait till he's here, though, to show it. We're just kitty. Finally get a ban. I haven't seen them either. Boobs didn't get banned, I don't think. I think it was just Buff. Hello, Puck. Buzzed Puck. Oh, you like all the catnip? She likes the catnip. Chat, I have Puck's lawyer. These allegations are unfounded. Well, chat, I bought some peppers, so I'm probably gonna eat a couple of these on stream. I think. I don't know if these are gonna be good or not, but I'm really hoping they are, because I really love the peppers that come in the Papa John's, and these are the same peppers. But these are like pickled, though. I guess they're not pickled. They are pickled, but are the ones at Taco John's pickled? Product of Greece, packaged by USA Vigo, imported to Tampa. I guess it didn't fall from the tree, did it? Alright, Puck, kind of making a mess here. There you go. There you go, Puck. Alright. Give Puck one. What do you think about that, Puck? Do you want a pepperoncini? Let me try this. I'm gonna try this out. We're gonna see if this is any good, chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. They're better than the Papa John's ones. They're unironically better than the Papa John's ones. That is impressive. That is amazing. Chonk it. Not as hot as the Papa John's ones, though. I feel like there's no spice. I mean, there is a little bit, but very little. Very little. It's like barely spicy. This is like Chipotle chicken level of spicy. After eating food, hell yeah. Dude, these are fucking good. Holy shit. I'm surprised Astra could open a jar. Well, this wasn't on there very tight, thankfully. But I've had, like, yesterday, I had to open, my thing of, beef bouillon, or better than bouillon. I've had it for a long time. So it was, like, opened before. But I guess maybe I closed it too tight the last time I opened it, because I couldn't get it open. I had to get the bat to help. Whatever I miss. I don't think anything. You Puck one. You want one, Puck? Okay, don't actually lick it. It's not very spicy to me, but it's probably too spicy for the Puck. I don't actually want her to have any. That's good. I need like a. Hold on, chat. I need to grab a little paper towel so I can put these on there. Hold on, I'll be right back. Fit check? I'll do a fit check real quick. Look at this fit check. I'm repping that Korea Republic. Alright. Puck. Puck holding down the fort. Did I go to my P.O. box? I did. They only had that letter, which I'm kind of like I don't want it to get like damaged or anything. I'm gonna like frame these letters that Disco sends me. They're so good. The Disco letters are like works of art. But I have one thing from the P.O. box. That was the only other thing that was there. And their jeans. Which could not have come at a better time. Because I am in a desperate need. I don't know if you can tell, chat. But I am currently wearing Bat Vibes' jeans. These aren't mine. But so I did actually need those, like, kind of bad, so. Look at those pupils. Look at you, get a kitty. But yeah, that's actually pretty good. Other than that, apparently there was nothing else at the P.O. box. So, here, cheap pair of Levi's. Yeah, that's what it is. God damn it! There goes my fucking toothpick again. Son of a bitch. That's what it is. Just 2 pairs of Levi's. I hope these are the stretchy kind, like the jeggings. Is that what these are? Find out. Are these the jeggings? You're saying High-Fives is a great ass? I mean, it's not bad. Okay, these are like the jeggings. They have the stretch. I like not having a zipper, because that's annoying. Totally shaping. Pull on skinny. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. It's so fucking, that's actually goes so hard. If you could handle clean, if you could have clean clothes if you do laundry. This is true. I do laundry. It's just that it's very limited. I'm limited on the amount of laundry that I can do. You guys gotta remember that. He needs to see Bat by his ass. I don't think his ass is like... I don't think it's like feminine by any means. So I don't know if you guys... It's not that kind of ass. It's very... It's a masculine ass. Oh, hello, Puck. She's coming back for more catnip. Coming back for round 2, huh, Puck? Oh, you see the stuff I put up there too, huh? So much catnip. Does ass hair match the beard hair? Never really paid that much attention. You said we wanted a feminine ass. That's a good point. I guess I don't know. Are those pepperonis peppers? Pepperinos? No. These are pepperoncinis. Which, I don't know really what the difference is between, like, these and banana peppers and pepperoncinis and whatever the fuck. I like masculine ass. I don't know what the difference is, but I like these. Is the orange amp new? No, I've had the orange amp. I've had the orange amp for years. Might be that I've actually had this probably like I've probably had that amp longer than any of my other amps. It's usually I don't play it as much as I used to. I've been playing it more recently just because it's not as loud. It's like I could actually play that in my apartment for like short periods of time. Like if it's 8 o'clock, I can probably get away with playing that. But like my other amp is like 100 watts. That one it's dual watt, so it can go between 7 watt and 15 watts. But so I can just set it to 7 watts, and then I'm fucking golden, and I don't have to worry that much about it. But my other amp it's also got 3 modes. It's got 25 watts, 50 watts, and 100 watts. But even at the 25 watt range, it's way too loud for my apartment. There is a fucking attenuator that is perfect. It makes any amp as quiet as you want while pushing the amp as hard as you want. And it's very cool, but it's like $1,200, and I don't have that kind of money, so. You playing tonight? I might be able to. You might. Did you call your dad about the gun shop? No, I forgot. I need to. And maybe I'll call my dad tonight and then get him, like, to go over there or some shit. And I'll just be like, you know, having my dad come over there and get it. These are good pepperoncinis. Play my guitar and through an Ampeg bass combo. I mean, shit, whatever works, man. Listen, I love my amp that I have, right? It's so nice, but I can't fucking play it, and it's so depressing. It's so depressing. I wish that I could play my guitar amp so bad. Oh, this isn't your dinner? No, it's okay. I bought some pizza rolls as well, so. Hopefully Dad's sure will get results. Fuck, dude. These are good pepperoncinis. I do feel like maybe it's because they've been soaking in vinegar for longer, but I feel like they're not as hot as the ones that come from Papa John's. The ones that come from Papa John's are just a tiny bit more spicy. Like, the ones that come from Papa John's aren't super spicy, but, like, there was a point in time when I couldn't just eat it, you know? It was too spicy just to eat. Nowadays, it's, like, pretty low on the spicy totem, but this is barely, like, this is basically, like, not spicy at all. But, no. Sure the ones from Papa John's aren't banana pepper? Oh, yeah. Well, I looked it up. And plus, they taste the same. Like, I know what I always get banana peppers on my Subway sandwich. And so I kind of know how banana peppers taste. There's a distinct pepperoncini flavor. They're a bit more, are banana peppers a bit more spicy? I always thought banana peppers were less spicy. Banana peppers on Subway cold cuts used to slap. It always slaps, bro. Whenever I go to Subway, I get cold cut combo with American cheese, and then I get spinach, mayo, onions, green peppers, and banana peppers. That's my Subway order right there. Haven't had it in a good while. I know. I want to eat some Subway. I want to get some Subway. I would get Subway tonight if I wanted to spend $8 on a Subway sandwich, but I don't, so I'm probably not gonna do that. But now you got me kind of craving Subway, so maybe I'll splurge $8. I already splurged $3 on this pepperoncini bowl. Maybe I'll splurge an extra $8 on a Subway sandwich. Publix has the best subs. They're different, you know? You can't there's like a different craving. Like, you can have, like, I can be in the mood for a sub sandwich, and that won't be Subway. That's like, I'm in the mood for like a real deli sandwich, right? But then that's like, I'm in the mood for a Subway sandwich. Then that's different. Because Subway sandwiches are Subway sandwiches. You can't, like, mimic a Subway sandwich that's not at Subway. And there's something really put in the bread. It's like, you walk into a Subway, you're like, Subway, right? It has a smell. I don't know, man. People are shit on Subway all the time. They act like it's not supposed to be fast food. Sugar bread? Maybe I like the sugar bread. People are always like, oh, it's not healthy. It's like, no, it never was. Jared was always a liar. The fact that anybody trusted Jared makes me question them. And if you listen to this fucking, like, diddling looking ass fucking dude, and he's like, I used to be this fat, and now I'm not, because I ate at Subway, like, and people believed him. I can't even believe it. I don't even understand. If there was a fucking guy that was, like, came on the fucking, the TV, and he was like, I lost this much weight, only eating at fucking, what's the other Subway place? Jimmy John's, right? I would say, you're full of shit. You're actually full of shit. All fast food is bad for you. Every single one of them. There's not a single fast food joint that's not bad for you. They all have, like, seed oils. They're all fucking high fructose corn syrup. It's just not good for you. Never will be. He lost all the weight by chasing down all those kids. Right? Dude, he tanked. He, like, that was a bad optics play for Subway. Yeah, that was a bad optics. I don't know. I like Subway. Are the ingredients the best? No. But there's a specific Subway taste, and if you're gonna ask me, like, what's my favorite Subway sub sandwich place, it's gonna be Subway. It's like, it is a what's that one place that does subs? Jersey Mike's. Like, is Jersey Mike's a higher quality sub sandwich? Absolutely. But sometimes I'd rather have Subway. Subway has a specific flavor, and it's kind of good. I kind of like it. And to be honest with you, a lot of time I like it more than Jersey Mike's. I will also say it probably is healthier than Jersey Mike's, because Jersey Mike's is like 90% oil. Like, whenever you go to Jersey Mike's and you have it Mike's way, they fucking just say, oh, let me take all of this oil and just fat and just fucking ka-tunk on it, and it's like, yeah, that tastes good. But, I don't know. A lot of people shouldn't be eating that much fat. I mean, maybe I should. Maybe that'd be good for me, but... It's like, people are wondering, why is this sub sandwich, like, 1,600 calories? Oh, I don't know. It's because they fucking dumped oil on it. I wish Quiznos was still in the area, but they closed them all down. Man, Quiznos. I didn't like Quiznos. When I was a kid, I went to Quiznos, and I was like, I'd rather go to Subway. I remember specifically, we had a Quiznos across the street from our Subway. By the way, the Subway's still there, I think. But it was at least there for a lot longer than the Quiznos was. But it's like, I remember going to the Quiznos thinking, man, I'd rather be at Subway right now. I don't mourn the loss of Quiznos. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I really don't. Maybe if I went there at today, it'd be different. But there's only so many Quiznos left in the country. There's like 20 of them. I like my sub toasted. I never toast. That might be it. Because Quiznos, their whole deal, their whole shtick was that they toasted the subs. Like, that was their whole fucking thing. And it's like, pretty much any sub you get at Quiznos is toasted. But for me, I don't like my subs toasted. I like them cold cut. I don't want them, it's a sandwich, not like a panini. I don't want it to be warm. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I always got both toast. I know both toast now, but they always ask me, hey, when I go to Subway, they're like, you want this toasted? And I'm like, hell no, I don't want it toasted. The fuck would I want it toasted? What do I look like? Some fucking Yahoo who wants a toasted Subway sandwich? You get them to untoasted too, but you have to ask. Yeah, that's like, that's weird. It's weird. Don't care for Firehouse steamed soggy either. As Firehouse subs, the meatball sandwich is alright. But I prefer Wawa's meatball sandwich over the Firehouse subs. So it's like, Firehouse subs always left me thinking, damn, this is overpriced and I'm uncomfortable in this restaurant. The work guy Subway refused to toast a tuna sub for me. He said the salmonella would get on the other subs and then people in the line would turn all green. What? That's fucking disgusting. And people tend to judge like the entire chain of a fast food chain on one restaurant. Some restaurants are worse than others. There are good Subways and there are bad Subways. There are good Taco Bells and there are bad Taco Bells. You gotta find the good ones. It's like, you know, there are some Waffle House restaurants where if you sit down, there might be a frog that falls through the ceiling onto your plate of food, right? That's just what you get at some Waffle Houses. But some other Waffle Houses are really nice, you know? You can't untoast a sub. Awful House. Astra the Femboy Critic. Come to another food review. Today I'm reviewing the pepperoncini. I'm gonna take that out. I kind of want to make a hot sauce with these, you know? Like, I kind of want to blend some of them up with some habaneros. Like, I want to get some habanero peppers, and I feel like habanero, the flavor of this, with a little bit of spice in the habanero, and it's a little bit like, if I took, like, 10 pepperoncini peppers from this, and I took 1 habanero, and I blended it all together, that might be good. That might be actually good. Jimmy John's is good, but not $10 good. I could agree with that. I don't like Jimmy John's, honestly. They're my least favorite sub sandwich place. I do like Jersey Mike's. I think Jersey Mike's tastes good. But honestly, Subway's the king for me. I like Subway. I know it's not as high quality as Jersey Mike's, but like if you're gonna ask me, do you want to go to Jersey Mike's or Subway? I'm probably gonna say Subway. Probably gonna say Subway. People oftentimes forget quality does not equal flavor. Quality is just that I can tell these ingredients are better, but the flavor of Subway, I just prefer it. I don't know why, man. Better ingredients for sure, but I like the taste. Puck, don't eat the pepperoncinis. You won't like them. Look. Careful, Puck. I don't want a siege in the back of my throat. Bad sandwiches are from my Gam's house. I think the review of the week guy is attractive. Running on empty food review. This is what I like about Publix subs. They use boar heads, and that's about the best deli meat I've ever had. Boar head's pretty good. Publix is pretty good. Pub subs are pretty good. But, you know, I don't know why, but anytime a grocery store sells food, I'm skeptical. I'm so skeptical. I remember when I was a kid, if you're in the Midwest, you know, different, like, regions have their different, like, chains, I guess. Like, I think, like, in the Northeast, it's, like, Kroger or whatever in the Northeast. And then here in the South, it's particularly, like, Florida, Georgia, you know, North Carolina, whatever. It's all Publix. Publix has got dominance over the South. But in the Midwest, the main store is Hy-Vee. And Hy-Vee's okay. I didn't like, you can tell they're one of those companies that kind of does shitty business practices, but a lot of their restaurants, or their stores, weren't terrible. But there was a bunch of these Hy-Vees that had, like, a cafeteria section. And I remember, like, every time I ate at one of those cafeteria sections, it was just so bad that I just wish that I wasn't eating there. At a certain point, they made this huge Hy-Vee. One of like the biggest Hy-Vee they've ever made. This was like a decade ago, but at the time it was the biggest Hy-Vee, like really close to my house. And they put like a full-on restaurant in it. Same story. Every time I went to that restaurant, fucking man, this sucks. This is not good. It's just like the quality to this food is just lacking severely. I don't even understand why people eat food at a grocery store, or why a grocery store is like, we need to offer shitty food items that are bad. See which Kroger, Kansas is Dillon's? I know Kansas is Hy-Vee too. There's Hy-Vees in Kansas. At least in Kansas City there is. I don't know about the other parts of Kansas, but... This is Atlanta. Murder Kroger. Yeah, I've seen like Kroger trucks down here, but I've never seen like a storefront Kroger. What do you think of bottom fries? What the fuck is bottom fries? What are bottom fries? Never heard of that. I do remember that my Hy-Vee that I used to live near always made sushi. And like Hy-Vee sushi isn't great, but it was better than like nothing, and I always liked eating it. Okay, exclusive in the bottom of the potato? Where is the bottom of a potato? Do you mean like vertically wise? Like the if you tip it up on its end to end, like one of the ends? Or do you mean like the... I'm confused. Which part are we talking about? And how is that different than the rest of the potato? Oh, you got more skin or something? What's the difference there? Gas station sushi. Yeah, I don't like gas station sushi. There's only delivery in Florida as of yet, I believe. Yeah, because like the distribution center, I've like driven by the Kroger distribution center, right? Where now you see a bunch of their trucks going in and out of there. And that's like in the back roads though. Like this is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Safeway offers good package deals like meatloaf and roast beef with veggies. I don't know, man. I don't know. Depends on how they pack it. Lots of fast food places are just sticking the fry package in the bag upside down. In the bag upside down. I'm so confused at how that works. I'm so confused. What exactly are we talking about here? Alright. Are you gonna like upset my stomach if I eat more of these? I gotta chill. I'm just going hard on those pepperoncinis, man. The pepperoncinis go hard. That was a successful purchase. I love me some pepperoncinis. What you know about the pepperoncini pepper, bitch? Safeway rocks. I don't think I've ever been to a Safeway. There was there used to be this chain in Iowa called Dolls. I don't know if anybody remembers Dolls. Like spelled DHALLS. They were pretty neat. But then they all closed down and turned into Price Choppers. And then all those Price Choppers closed down subsequently after, so it was kind of, you know, they all kind of died. Bottomless fries have had surgery. What are we talking about here with these fries? Bottom fries, upside down fries. What are we talking about? Never heard of it. If it wasn't in Kansas City, then it probably was like locally in Iowa or something like that. I don't know. I loved Albertsons until Publix took over and closed them all down in Florida. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Albertsons. I'm high as Puck. And Puck's right here, so. Sometimes McDonald's would lay down the French fry container in the bag, so frustrating. I don't want the fries spilled in the bag. Yeah, that sucks when they do that. That sucks. I don't know. I don't really order fries that much anymore. The fries that I really love are Bebop's fries. Like, I will eat Bebop's fries because those are good. Like, Bebop's fries are like McDonald's fries plus. They're like fucking delicious. But I don't really eat fries that much. You know, if I'm not eating Bebop's, I'm really not eating fries. Like, I haven't ordered McDonald's fries in a hot minute. Like, I really don't eat McDonald's fries ever anymore. Which was the first arrest shoplifting wine while skipping middle school? My first arrest shoplifting wine. Oh, damn. Skipping middle school to steal wine from the Albertsons? Damn. Fuck. What a menace. I stopped eating McDonald's fries. They're bad now. I don't know, they used to be made in beef tallow, and then they changed it, and then, I don't know, because they changed it after I was, like, born, or, like, before I was born. Like, they stopped using beef tallow in, like, the 90s or some shit like that. So for me, I've never really known the tallow-y fries that everybody's like, oh, it used to be so much better. I never really knew it, and so I don't know. But, like, Steak and Shake, apparently, they've gone completely to beef tallow. And I haven't had Five Guys in Steak and Shake. I haven't had Steak and Shake in so long. There was a Steak and Shake that was in Iowa City. And Iowa City was like 2.5 hours away from Des Moines, where I used to live. And I was so frustrated because I always wanted to go to, I had it like once and I thought it was really good. And so I really wanted to go back, but it was an hour and a half away. So I couldn't justify driving, you know, 2.5 hours to fucking Steak and Shake. But they opened one like right before COVID, and then I never went to it. I was like so hyped for it. I was like, yo, they're finally opening one like near me, and then I never went to it, and now I moved away. But I think there's one like 20 minutes away from me now, so it's not like the worst. Hold on, where's the Steak and Shake? Yeah, I mean that's like that's like 20 minutes away, I think. Alright, whatever. 20 minutes. Exactly 20 minutes. It's like it's not that bad. But, you know, I don't know, maybe I'll go there soon to try their beef tallow fries. Gotta go hit an easy bike workout. Have a good evening. All right, you have fun with that. You don't mind driving 20 minutes? I mean, that's 40 minutes of driving, to be fair. That's 40 minutes of driving. If I was gonna do 40 minutes of driving, I don't know. Maybe if like I had like a DoorDash gift card, I would use that to try some and see how like what kind of like quality it is. But then again, I don't trust DoorDash. That DoorDash sucks too. But it's like, am I really gonna drive 40 minutes to go try this? I mean, probably. The next time I go out that way, I might try some, but 20 minutes just to pick up food is too far, if I'm honest. Well, you know, I used to live about 20 minutes away from a Raising Cane's, and Raising Cane's is worth a 20-minute drive. I will say that. Just flat out is worth a 20-minute two-way drive. It is. It just straight up is. I love Cane's. The chicken, mid. Dry, bland, tasteless, C-quality chicken. But I don't know whatever the fucking voodoo magic they put in that sauce, but it is good. I don't know what exactly they do or how they do it, or if it's just a brain, like a pseudoscience, like my brain just associates that flavor with being good or whatever. I don't know, because I've tried to make it at home several times, and it just never hits the same. And now I don't like, I live a hot minute away. I live like an hour away from the closest Cane's. Let's check. Where's the closest Cane's to me? Oh fuck. Raising Cane's. What do we got? Directions. It's 40 minutes. 33 minutes. If I take, like, I think a highway that has, like, tolls on it, and if I didn't want a toll road, it'd be 40 minutes. That's an hour and 20 minutes driving, both, like, in total. It's the biggest shop down in London I've driven an hour and a half each way to visit before now. Damn. I mean, that's an hour and a half drive in England is like the entire... That's like a cross-country road trip right there, CRJ. It's like a... Like, you forget, like, England is small comparative to, like, most of America. England is the size of one U.S. state. I drive for Jason's Deli. They don't weigh the to-go salad. I still gotta make the trek down to Poncheros in Florida. There's a Poncheros in Florida that is, like, 4 hours away from where I live. And I want to go to it so bad. I want to go to it so bad. Astra's secretly a gym bro? Yeah, Brian. You see these, you see these gains? Do you see these, like... Do you see these gains, bro? Do you see these abs? Isn't Florida larger than England? I would not be surprised. I think vertically, yes. I don't know about, like, for volume, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really entirely sure. Yeah, I guess we could look it up. Is Florida bigger than England? God damn it. AI sucks. Okay. Try this again. Is Florida bigger than the UK? Florida's about 1.7 times smaller than the United Kingdom. What about England specifically? Not just the UK. Yes, Florida is larger than England in terms of area. So, the UK, we're not bigger than the UK, but we're bigger than England. Florida is about 1.5 times smaller than the United Kingdom, yeah. But not England. England is a part of the United Kingdom. She starts next year, some book. Any moment now, Ashley will read the answer I already put in chat. 65,000 versus 94. Yeah. Best state ever for real. Florida is the best state. I don't think that Florida is the best state for everybody. I think there are some people who should not live in Florida. I think there are some people who are like, they just, like, some people get really hot and they really don't like, yeah. Some people really don't like the heat of Florida. I don't know. Do I like that lighting better? No. We're going back. Florida, U.S. is 2.17 times as big as Scotland. See, look at that. Look at that. Not sure about that, but sure. I like to call the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Who even is the British Prime Minister right now? Didn't they do like a snap election last year? And then it's like... What even happened with that? It's all sorts of weird shit going on. And 100 times as flat. You gotta be kidding me. My phone keeps like buzzing, and I don't know why. I'm updating it to try to see if it will fix the problem. I looked up Keir Starmer, sexy bloke in it. I tried looking up why it was buzzing continuously, and it just said that it was phantom vibration. So basically, I said, "Internet, why is my phone randomly buzzing and not giving me a notification?" And the internet said, "You probably just schizo. It's probably all in your head." Like, what the fuck? I know it's not in my head. You can't. It's real. I think. Am I schizo, Chad? California is 740 times as large as the Isle of Man. They have a boring prime minister. I don't think it'll last. Damn. Doesn't do it for me. On the other hand, personally, I don't feel the need to elect people I want to fuck. I guess that's fair. Got a cockroach in my ear. Shoto, why are you just trying to like upset me? Are you just trying to upset me? You fucking piece of shit. Boris Johnson was an asshole, but at least he was funny. That's the only qualification for a good world leader is that they have to be funny. If they're not funny, then this is why Biden was a terrible president. It's because he wasn't funny. But well, I guess he was kind of funny though, wasn't he? I guess that can't be true because Biden was actually pretty funny. Let's be honest here. He was pretty. he's pretty funny. Isn't the Prime Minister of the UK the Charles III now? I have no idea. Kim Jong-un got jokes for real. Never skip nap time. I just love that meme that was just like, the results are in. The Republicans won the election, but they won by 1 vote. I wonder who the last vote was. And then is Biden like turning around like, it's like that motherfucker. They booted him off the ticket, so he voted out of spite. That's so fucking funny. I don't care. I don't care what your opinions on politics are, but that shit right there is fucking funny. Salman Rushdie has offered the view that fundamentalist extremists are never funny, so if a leader is funny, in theory, that at least means they're not a fundamentalist extremist. I think that's completely wrong. The idea that somebody can't be an extremist if they're funny, that sounds dangerous. Hey, do you think this guy is a little hardcore? Like, maybe his views are a little too extreme, and that maybe it's not good for our country to be led by such an extremist. Oh yeah, but he's funny, so who cares? He can't be an extremist if he's funny. Meanwhile, he's like, we need to put everybody in camps. We need to murder like 25% of the population. Nah, he's not extreme. He's just funny. He's just a funny guy. Like you're in Cambodia in the 60s, and you're just like, damn, this Pol Pot guy seems to be killing a lot of people. Do you think he's a bit extreme? Nah, he's too funny to be extreme. Homos must be exterminated. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a solution for, and this is not an extreme solution. I'm not an extremist, but I have a solution for the homeless problem and the elderly problem. We will all put them in the water, and we'll leave them there. Problem solved. Pol Pot was the 70s? It was like late 60s, 70s. Your example lacked funny. God, does that mean I'm extreme? Fuck. Pol Pot was goofy eccentric. Pol Pot he murdered like 25% of his population. That's a big number. Imagine you come into office, and by the time you leave office, 25% of your own population has been killed by you. Free my mans. I think he's dead, isn't he? He would be pretty old if he's not already dead. Wait, is Pol Pot dead? Is Pol Pot dead? He died in 1998. It must have been wild being like it must have been wild like taking care of Pol Pot as he aged and being like one of the social workers that's like been assigned to take care of Pol Pot as he's like in prison. You know what I mean? Imagine like you just like you have to take care of Pol Pot as a Cambodian. That would be weird. It's like communism has fallen, Russia has fallen, the year is 1998, and you still have to go change Pol Pot's diaper. God damn. It's been decades for decades now. Yeah, but he died in 1998. So there was a time when you could have your day job could have been changing Pol Pot's diaper, and then you would go home to play Zelda on the N64. My dad was in Cambodia when Nixon was saying we weren't in Cambodia. Interesting. That's kind of funny. That's 1.2 to 2.8 million. Even lower estimate is horrific. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It was so bad, in fact, that he was so communist and so outwardly communist that he pissed off the other communists that were next to him. Immediately, I think it was less than a year after the Vietnam War with like the U.S. ended, Vietnam went to war with Cambodia. It was like Vietnam and China. No. It was Cambodia and China versus Vietnam and Russia. What? It's one of those situations like you look back at that historically and you think, wow. That's odd. That's a bit odd, isn't it? There's like how Finland in World War II technically fought for like both sides. So it's like there was a period of World War II where Finland was fighting with the Germans against Russia. But then there was also another part of World War II where the Finnish were fighting with Russia against the Germans. So if you were a Finnish soldier in World War II, you would be shooting at both sides. Communist Vietnam said this guy has to be stopped. Yeah, and that's pretty fucking crazy. With Communist Vietnam was like, yeah, all right, I know we just like fought a gruesome war against the most powerful empire in the world, and we won. But this guy's gotta stop. Man, that is a sad piece of history. Vietnam is such a sad country. There's like the last 100 years of Vietnamese history is so fucking sad. It's like the past 200 years, the Vietnamese have just been oppressed, just non-stop. First, it was like China, then it was France, then it was fucking the U.S. and Australia and England. And then it was their own government for a while. Then I'm pretty sure everything kind of cooled down now. I'm pretty sure Vietnam's pretty chill, but still, it's like, what the fuck? Pol Pot died in the jungle with remnants of his Khmer Rouge as he was preparing to hand him over to international court. That's not what Wikipedia says. That's not what Wikipedia says. When did let me just look up. Pol Pot. Wikipedia. He died in April 15th, 1998 at age 72. He died right fucking here. Specifically right there. Next to the... Is that Thailand? Where is that? That's... I can't... Because that's Cambodia, right? That's Vietnam. This is Malaysia. This is Myanmar. That's gotta be Thailand, right? Or is this Myanmar? Or this is Thailand, right? Yeah, I think. Hold on. Wait a minute. There's a way that I can verify this information to myself. Alright. Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand. Ha! I knew it. Fucking knew it. And this is Myanmar. God damn. People are like, Americans don't know geography. Look at that shit. I know that shit. I've played enough Hoi 4 to know where the border of Cambodia is. Don't forget to bring a wife. The one you didn't name in Laos. Pol Pot killed people who wore glasses. You could speak 2 languages? Dead. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Sorry to spoil your dictator diaper changing fantasies. Damn. But still, he could have. He could have. He could have been shitting himself at 72. You never know. Americans seem to know the geography around Vietnam better than most places for some reason. I also feel like I'm slightly more interested in geopolitics than the average American. So it's like, if you ask the average American where Myanmar is, they probably won't know. They also probably won't know that I think there's a revolution happening in Myanmar, right? That's Myanmar, right? There's like a insurgency like happening in, like, there's a civil war going on in Myanmar like right now. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's like, it might not be Myanmar, but I'm pretty sure it's Myanmar. Around there's like a brutal war for like independence over like an oppressive regime, and I'm pretty sure Myanmar is that oppressive regime. My neighbors in Iowa were actually they were immigrants from Myanmar. Fun fact. Myanmar's been simmering for a couple of decades. I hadn't heard things boil over. I don't know if it's boiled over so much, but there is like insurgency, like there's actual like active warfare going on right now in Myanmar, and it's very much so like a very clear cut like power for struggle, like your struggle for power, and it's like there are clear bad guys and there are clear good guys, and yet no one talks about that. Like, these people could use a lot of, you know, if we're gonna send fucking shit to Ukraine, like these guys could probably use some help too. Also, there's, what's that? Is it Indonesia? Or there's another island down in the South Pacific that's, like, also, like, brutally massacring their own people. Astra is secretly a political reporter. Pol Pot, what just happens if Kissinger's bomb... Pol Pot is what happens if Kissinger bombs your country, leaving a power vacuum. Greta Thunberg would kill millions? How dare you? How dare you? Myanmar was Burma? Religious classes for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the whole part. The upsetting part about it is this part of the world is probably like the most gorgeous part of the entire world, in my opinion. If I could just claim like land, like I could snap my fingers and like this whole peninsula right here would just be mine, I'd take it. Because this is gorgeous. If you look over here, like, in Da Nang, like, look at this shit. Look at fucking how gorgeous that is. Like, Jesus. I mean, this is an ad for a golf course, but, like, Vietnam is fucking gorgeous. Like, genuinely. Dong Hui. Alright, I'm not gonna let me put my guy down. Like, if I had to flee the country, like, I would genuinely consider Vietnam. Even though it probably isn't a good place to go as an American tourist who's very naive. Probably get picked apart a little bit. But Cambodia is also cool because Cambodia, if I can find it, I don't know if I can. Let's see, where is it? Cambodia has Angkor Wat, which is really cool. If I could find where that is. No. Is this one of the... What is this? Temple ruins? That's pretty cool. Somewhere around here's Angkor Wat. Oh, there it is! Hey, I found it! Hey, look at that! Tell me I don't know my goddamn geography. I could just zoom in on Angkor Wat. Don't even fucking... Look at that shit. I would love to visit Angkor Wat, dude. This place is gorgeous. Look how cool this fucking place is, man. Imagine just being, like, in the jungle in, like, the early 1800s or whatever this place was rediscovered, and just walking through this jungle for miles and then finding this just out in the middle of nowhere. Cool architecture, yeah. Asian asylum spotted. Vietnam is still a one-party communist. I mean, they're still a communist, yeah, technically, but they're communist like China is communist. Like, they're communist in spirit, not in practice, really. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think that Lenin or Marx, Karl Marx or whoever the fuck, Stalin, would look at modern-day Vietnam with 5-star luxury tourism hotels and say, this is obviously the sign of the proletariat being supported. I don't think they would say that. Let's be honest, they're not communists, and they're communists, and they're communists. Still, I would take over the country. I'd do it. Oh, I would give them goddamn freedom. COJ, but you wouldn't know it from the tourist trade. Yeah. That's my only problem with Vietnam, is I feel like there's a lot of inequality in Vietnam. I would love to go to Vietnam, but if I went in the touristy section, where it's like, you know, nice buildings everywhere, everybody's like super, super first world, I feel like that's almost, I'd feel bad. Like, I want to go into Vietnam. Like, you know what I mean? Do you guys remember, the Top Gear special where they rode bikes from the bottom of Vietnam to the top? I want to do that. I would like to do that. I think that would be really fun. And I think it'd be really dangerous and scary. And I might get murdered. But I think it'd be really fun. Because I want to see, like, the real Vietnam. Where, like, the real people live. And, like, you know. You should flee to Canada, Astra. Canada needs more pretty femboys. And we have a femboy deficit. Why would I ever flee to Canada? Dude, Canada is fucked. Canada's more, like, unstable as a country than the U.S. is, like, by far. Like, the housing... First of all, the housing prices in Canada are fucking shitty. Awful. Second off, the taxes in Canada are unbelievably bad. I can't own any of the guns that I, like... There's so many guns that I own that I can't own in Canada. Look at this. This gun... specifically, for no other reason than that it's an AK, is illegal in Canada. I could not own this in Canada. I can own this here, but I can't own this in Canada. This is illegal in Canada. They do have weed, though, and that's cool. But other than that, I really don't want to move to Canada. Excellent new Vietnam documentary on Apple TV, told by soldiers who were there, not by what you've been told. Interesting. All modern communist regimes make money on tourism very badly. In case of North Korea, the issue is who is making the money and how it's distributed. I don't think all communist regimes are doing that. Some of them definitely. Like Cuba, I don't think Cuba has a booming tourist market. Maybe they do, I don't know. But Cuba's falling apart. You got great weed. It's true, you guys got weed, and I'm jealous of that. But I've got a gun. And I like my gun better than weed, so... I'm gonna stick with my gun. Need to visit Thailand and meet your sisters? I would love to go to Thailand. Chat, we need to organize a trip to, I want to go, chat, do you think that it would be possible for me to like organize a group road trip where we go from like the bottom of Vietnam to the top of Vietnam, from the top of Vietnam down through the interior of Vietnam into Cambodia, and then we go to Angkor Wat and visit that because I just want to see Angkor Wat, and then we go west to Thailand and visit Thailand, and then probably not visit Myanmar because fuck that. Can I visit? I would love to visit if I could visit like Vietnam. If I could spend like a month or 2 months doing this huge road trip where I go from like Vietnam to Cambodia to Thailand, I think that'd be really cool. Bangkok actually named that, or are they just messing with us? Bang titty. Bang penis. People from Europe were having a lovely time visiting Cuba on holiday all the time that the US had sanctions in place. I don't know, Cuba's kind of fucked up though. Cuba's like, I'm worried about Cuba. Like genuinely, I'm worried about Cuba. Like I think we're gonna, I would not be surprised if Cuba becomes a US territory in the next 10 years. Only because I think they might like beg for it. Like, I think they might genuinely have a full collapse in Cuba, where their whole government collapses entirely, and they're like, please, someone come help us. I think that might happen. I think that genuinely might happen. I don't need to visit Cuba, I live in Florida. Yeah, it's... Astra likes the heat in Canada would be too cold for her. It would be too cold for me, and I like palm trees. Maybe I can go down and help gives Cuba some freedom. I don't know. I'm like genuinely worried about Cuba. I feel like they're struggling really hard down there. And I wish that they had a better government that could like help them. Like I don't necessarily want Cuba to become a state necessarily. Like the American in me wants Cuba to become a state, but I don't really care about Cuba becoming a state. As I just kind of want Cuba to not. I want people to not be suffering in Cuba anymore. It's like, fuck, dude. These poor fucking sons of bitches. Take salsa lessons. People who live next to me are Cuban refugees. Are they nice people? I don't know, yeah. John Kerry is not to mention, but Mekong Delta swiftboats are covered. Again, told by Soldier and few new carry. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like that whole region of I think that whole region should become a state. I think that would be cool. Should just take all of North America and those little islands. The old lady speaks not a lick of English and is super nice. I don't know, I think Cubans are pretty nice. I've never even met any like mean Cubans, but maybe that's just because I haven't met enough of them. But I haven't so far. My like interpretation of Cubans is that they're genuinely good people, which is why it just makes me upset when it's like they're literally like having huge problems in Cuba, and it's like people forget that Cuba exists and that they're like 90 miles from Florida, and they're sort of struggling and no one cares, and it's just like, damn, all right. Fuck. Can't wait to visit the red, white, and blue. They came over in the 60s when Cuba let some of them go. You never forget if you watch the movie Scarface. I've never watched Scarface. Never have. I should though. Yeah, I know, right? I've never seen it. I know the line that's like, "Say hello to my little friend." I know that, like, where he's got cocaine like all on his he's got like cocaine under his lip and everything. Like I know that scene, but I've not seen the actual movie. I also haven't seen The Godfather, any of them. That's something I have to see. There's a lot of movies I have to watch. Mountain Coke on his desk. Tony, hey. Cuba never restricted people's ability to leave. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because Cuba definitely restricted people's ability to leave. I'm pretty sure about that. Why would people need to escape Cuba if they let them leave in the first place? I don't know. Cuba's kind of fucked up. They're fucked up. I feel like their government has kind of just been subsisting off of like communism and like Russia up until when Russia died, and now they've just been coasting off of the residuals of that for the last 20 years, and now they're really like running on fumes. So I imagine that, and again, I hope everything ends up alright, but I genuinely worry for Cuba. That was the whole beginning of Scarface. They are at a Cuban detention camp. Huh. I'm 100% sure we have a lot of Cubans who escaped live around me. Yeah. It's like, listen, every Cuban I've ever known hates Cuba. Like, they're like, please God, don't let what happened in Cuba happen here. They do not like Cuba. I mean, I guess they probably like Cuba as, like, their homeland, but they don't like the government there. It's very, again, I think that's, like, you talk about U.S. aid and where we should be giving U.S. aid, Cuba's probably someplace that would need aid. If we're going to give any foreign country aid. I don't think we should, to be fair. I think we should not give anybody help. Because fuck that. We need to make sure that we need to take care of our own goddamn people before we take care of other people. But if we are going to give people aid, Cubans probably need it. Myanmar people probably need it. They probably need help over there in Myanmar so they don't get fucking brutally oppressed. Problem was getting into USA than leaving Cuba. I mean, you could probably just leave Cuba by swimming, but that's probably not what they mean. You're going to get a somewhat skewed perspective on Cuba from people who left it. I feel like the people who lived in Cuba have a much better idea of what Cuba is like than people who have never even been to Cuba. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they probably have a better understanding of the political landscape of Cuba than people who are not Cubans do. The Mariel boat lift, Spanish Éxodo del Mariel, was a mass immigration of Cubans who traveled from Cuba to Mariel Harbor to the United States between April 15th and October 19th, 1980. The term, if chat moved and now I lost my place. The term Marielito is used to refer to these refugees in both Spanish and English. While the exodus was triggered by a sharp downturn in the Cuban economy, it followed on the heels of generations of Cuba who had immigrated to the United States in the preceding decades. There you go. This is where the wet foot, dry foot thing came from. When they got to shore, they were free to stay. I see. You gotta collect them all like Pokemon. America's playing a game of keeps in your mind. Gotta collect them all. I'll trade you the American Virgin Islands for all of Cuba. Get those cigars, you know what I mean? Astra speed reader enabled. Base take care of Americans first instead of sending billions abroad, sometimes into nations that openly hostile to Americans. I don't have a problem with helping other countries. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with sending aid to Cuba if they need it. The issue that I have with that is that we should only do that if we don't have any homeless. If there's one homeless person on Santa Barbara Avenue or whatever, we should not be sending money to anybody else. Like, the American citizens should be the recipients of American aid before anybody else. If we took all of the money that we spend in foreign aid and we took that whole budget and we just shoved it into a new organization that was dedicated to getting homeless people off the streets, we could absolutely solve the homeless problem in America. Like within a fucking year, we could solve the homeless problem in America. It's just that we could build new housings, new safe housing for people to live in, like give job programs. I mean, we could absolutely supercharge that program in the United States if we just stopped giving billions of dollars to random people. Now read the second paragraph. After the 10,000 people tried to gain asylum by taking refuge on the grounds of the Peruvian embassy, the Cuban government announced that anyone who wanted to leave could do so. I don't know, man. Sergey, you're defending Cuba awfully hard right now. You really try to defend Cuba. I'm gonna be honest with you, CRJ. I'm pretty sure the Cubans who are talking about Cuba as if it's not a good place probably know what they're talking about. W. Ash your take. I mean, I'm just how we cannot help. You know when you're on a plane and you're about to take off, and they're like, if the oxygen mask comes down, put yours on first before you help anybody else. Same mentality. Don't put someone else's oxygen mask before you put your own on. You can't help other people if you're dying from lack of oxygen. Most foreign aid is money laundering, CIA, government overdose. True. This is true. This is true, pool boy. It's very true. Very true. A lot of homeless are homeless because they don't want to be part of what is called normal society. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If you walk up to a homeless person and give them a key to an apartment, do you think that they're gonna stay in the street when you hand them a key to an apartment that's like paid for like 3 years? Of course not. We could easily afford to build high density, like cheap apartments that are safe, clean, and warm in a place to sleep, and we could just give keys out to homeless people and say, listen, we will pay for this apartment for you for X amount of years, and we will give you plenty of resources to get out to like fix your life. We'll give you like rehab, we'll give you we'll help you get a job, we'll help you with therapy, we'll help you with whatever you need during that time, and it's all free. It's like, of course they're gonna do that. Like, what the fuck? Like, even if just to get out of the street temporarily. Like, nobody likes sleeping on the street. Homeless people are not saying, I prefer being homeless. Like, no, they don't. No, they don't. The jeans worth a twirl? Kinda, maybe. I don't know. What do you, are the jeans worth a twirl? Then why are they not doing that? Because there are tons of places that help homeless, and they end up back on the homeless after a few months. I don't think the programs that we have in place are the same. I don't think they're as good as they need to be. I think if they had the kind of funding that we give to other countries, then it would be a lot easier for people to do that. I'll take my one crack den. Hi, Nano, by the way. Nano, do you want to go to Cuba with me? Or Vietnam? We should go to Vietnam, Nano, and then we should go to Thailand. Immigrant homeless is very much a problem, drug use, mental health problem. I know, but I'm saying if we gave people homes, like small temporary apartments that are like purposely built, not like real temporary apartments, but like multi-decade, like you can stay here for 10 years without anybody caring, and it will be a fine. Like, honestly, we have enough money to really just give a lot of these people these apartments if we built them small enough and cheap enough. It's like, if you are homeless and you call like the homeless coalition, it might be years before you can get your own apartment. Like, genuinely years. Because there's a wait list. You have to get on a wait list. It takes a long time. And your only option for shelter in between that time might be like a homeless shelter where you have to share like rooms with people, you have to share showers with people. It's like a community living type of situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about building people apartments. Like take some land in Nevada and just build like a city full of high density, nice little apartments that are like $10 a month. You don't think that would help the homeless population in Nevada? Nano be slinging that rock. you got any fent, Nano? Bussy cracked in. The UK homeless people tend to live in the shelters first and only move to shelters and independent housing later, which makes sense given the complex issue beyond the mere homelessness a lot of homeless people have. That's true. I do think the homeless issue in the UK is vastly different than the homeless situation in the US, though. There are like a lot more homeless people in the U.S. If you drive down into Orlando, there, like, I remember last time I was there, we drove underneath a bridge or next to a bridge, and the entire bridge had homeless people underneath it. They had tents. They were all sitting there together underneath this bridge sleeping, and it's like, you're telling me for the amount of money that we send to aid to other random ass countries, right? The amount of money that we send to aid for whatever bullshit, we could just build an apartment complex in like the middle of nowhere and just give these people keys. I don't know. I'm not a politician. I don't know what I'm talking about really. I'm just kind of full of shit. But I got a cool gun though, so that's pretty neat. What do you think of Nana? What do you think of the stock on this furniture? Have you seen this? See Los Angeles homeless camps on Google Earth. Yeah. So wrong, dude. Astra communist confirmed. So wrong, dude. She cares about fellow fellow Americans. Doesn't mean she's a communist. Yeah, I'm not really talking about. I'm talking about giving people opportunities to get out. Like this isn't a communism thing. This is not saying that people can't own land. This is a social program. So it's more socialism, but really not. Ideally not socialism. But it is like, if we have the money, I think it would be cool to do that. You know what I mean? But it's not a priority to like give people free money. It's like, obviously if we can't afford to run our government, we have other problems. But I think that the American economy has enough room in it to help homeless people get off of the streets. Like, I feel like if we don't need to have homeless people sleeping on the streets. I feel like there are solutions. If we, as a country, say, all right, we're going to dedicate a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort into solving the homeless issue, we can have it done in a year. It's just that no one gives a fuck about homeless people, and we tended to look down on homeless people a lot, which is kind of fucked up. And it's like a lot of these people are just struggling, and they just need help. And it's like, obviously, it would be better to help these people to be productive members of society and help them out of this like situation than it is just to say, fuck it, fuck you, get fucked, get bent. We gotta send money to fucking Venezuela for some reason. We gotta fund cross hormone effects on geckos in Peru. Billions of dollars to understand the drag queen community of Iraq. People get paid a lot of money to help the homeless, and if they aren't homeless anymore, they won't have a job. I don't think it's so much that. I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that we don't dedicate enough money to the homeless problem. If we put a lot more money into it, we could solve it. I feel like it would be a lot more manageable over time. If you solve homelessness, will there be any money left over for wars? Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, it would be. Being homeless is a lucrative industry. I'm only homeless because big homeless. I don't think that would help the homeless population in Nevada. No, what's needed is integration. Diverse communities. The first problem ideal would face is that doctors would want to move a city of 100% full of people who are homeless in a week before teachers would become a problem for them afterwards. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just taking a city and building it for a home. I'm not talking about building a homeless city. I'm just talking about building a city that's more affordable to live in. You know what I mean? I'm talking about building more housing opportunities for everybody, not just homeless people. This is like opportunities for people so that they don't have to become homeless. This is opportunities for people so that they can have an easier time saving up money so that they never have to even think about being homeless. This isn't a city for homeless people. It's a city for the average people, the average American. And in that city, we also have room that we can build high-density apartments for people who cannot stand on their own 2 feet, right? I think integration is what is right, but you can't integrate people if they're on the sidewalk. And absolutely, I do not believe if you built that and you offered people houses, they'd be like, no, I want to do drugs. Because obviously they're gonna do drugs, but they're not gonna sit on the. If you say, yeah, you can do drugs in your own apartment, how about that? They're gonna be like, no, I like to do crack cocaine on the sidewalk while I stare people down while I shit on the sidewalk. Like, maybe some people are like that, sure, but you put them in like a hospital or something. Should run for political office. You speak so well on these types of topics. No. I think I kind of killed my political career when I made the BP. I'm pretty sure that one ended my entire political career in a one swoop. The best chance I have at having a political career is making political content about this type of stuff, and then just becoming popular that way, and then people would be like, "Oh, Astra, I know Astra for Presidente." Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know how well I would do in office, but I do want to make videos about it. I unironically want to make videos about politics. I just don't want to make, like, I want to make good videos about politics. I don't want to make, like, super biased, like, super, it's the goddamn commies again. I tell you what, I went to the store the other day, and I saw somebody with a red flag on the back of their truck, and it didn't have nothing on it, but, you know, I just know that they're communists, and this is what's wrong with our country right now. I tell you what, we need Jesus, and we need to have an elected official who's gonna put all them dirty homeless people in jail where they belong. Like, I don't want to make that kind of video. I want to make, like, genuine, like, good political takes. The UK's policy is that certain proportion of any development must have social housing. I gather that's the policy in the US as well, except for US developers get away with segregating social housing. Kind of, CRJ, but what I'm talking about is not a side, like, oh, we're gonna have this much, you know, put aside for, like, homeless people. I think the issue is that we have homeless people. We should not have homeless people. We have the money. There's enough government waste and spending to pay for the homeless issue in America like 10 times over. We took all of the waste inside our country and inside our government, and all of the wasteful spending, all the criminal spending, the money laundering, the fucking corruption. If you take all of that shit out and you're left with just what our American budget is, we could pay so much. We could probably have a universal basic income. I don't think I'm in favor of that necessarily, but we could have it. We could probably afford it. We could lower our taxes, lower the price of living significantly, and still pay for that. If we just stop fucking being stupid about how we spend our money. Astra's BP was PG. Maybe not PG. It was not PG-13. Don't even. Astra wants home internment camps. No, I want like a nice place where you could live. That's humane and that's got windows, shelter, running water, food that you can eat every day. You know what I mean? Where programs that help you get a job, programs that help you get off of drugs, programs that help you maybe make drugs and then sell those drugs. Maybe not legal drugs, but like maybe weed. Maybe you can sell fucking weed to your home block. Then you buy in a better apartment, and then someone else can take yours. All I want is a raise. I don't need government assistance. Have never seen it, but yeah, why would that prevent her from running a potential office? Most people are not that close-minded. I think people are. I think a lot of people are, especially like older people. You say if I'm running for public office, it would be so easy to make a hit piece on me. Did you know that Astra 763 was the name that this politician used to go by? And when they did, they were racist. They had pornographic content. And some little old lady's gonna be like, "Oh no, I can't vote for that. This is not going to do. I'm going to vote for the person who's fucked over my wages and my social security for the last 10 years. I haven't seen a social security check in 2 decades, but I just know this next person will give it back. I just know." My friend Randy's been getting his social security checks for years. But he died 2 decades ago. Do y'all really want to vote for Bussy? Unless you come out and state you did whatever you did at the start. China has entered the chat. I feel it's wildly inconsistent to have tobacco legal and marijuana illegal given their relative addictiveness and harmfulness. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you look at it, like, if you consider both alcohol and weed a drug, alcohol is way worse for you. Physically, it's worse for you. Mentally, it's worse for you. Yeah, if you want to get a job in the government, you can be an alcoholic and they don't give a shit. But if you smoke weed on the weekends, out. Nope. There are reasons for it, though. It's very easy to understand why it is that way when you understand how lobbying works and you understand how the pharmaceutical industry works. And it's like, if you have a magical plant that grows literally everywhere, so much to the point where it's called weed, that, like, cures so many, like, arthritic problems, heart problems, fucking skin problems, mental problems. Like, it just solves a lot of problems for a lot of people. Isn't that seem kind of bad for a pharmaceutical company that makes their money by selling people drugs to solve those problems when there's an easy alternative that's way cheaper? So if you're that pharmaceutical company, wouldn't it make sense for you to lobby the government to keep weed illegal so that you can still charge people for the illegal alternatives, which are way more unhealthy and way more costly? Nah, I tell you what, if I was in government, if I was president, I would sign an executive order day one. Lobbying, illegal. That shit's fucked up. I don't know why we let that happen, but that should not. Taxes, illegal. Lobbying, illegal. Fucking get all our money from other countries. We don't need to tax our people. Taxation's theft. I'm getting too dangerously based here, chat. And someone's gonna like gank me through the window here. I'm gonna fall out my first story window. Good old synthetic heroin, always better alternative to weed. I thought they passed the Delta stuff, they're kind of like here in Florida. A lot of places had Delta 8 and stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the alternatives like Delta 8 and stuff are just not as healthy as regulated weed. I feel like regulated weed, where you can regulate how it's made, how it's manufactured, what's used in the manufacturing of it, I think medical marijuana is way healthier than Delta 8 or HHC or THCPA. This is way healthier. It's like, it just came out like not too long ago that a lot of the vape companies that were selling like Delta 8 vapes in California were like putting pesticides in their fucking bullshit, and they were cheating the test, the FDA test. They were paying people to get their product on the shelf even though it didn't pass the test. It was like fucked up. So it's like, if you're smoking a vape, you gotta realize you're probably smoking some really unhealthy shit. The big weed people have made stuff like Delta illegal. In the States, weed is illegal. I was a hippie-leaning festival a few years back, chatting a couple of police officers and who jokingly said they were carefully staying upwind of things, so that then some idiot came and tried to sell them special brownies and sighed like people who'd finally encountered something they couldn't ignore. Oi, bruv. The brownie's alright, but is that a knife in your pocket? Do you have your license for that knife? Is that a kitchen knife with a point, I say? Does that kitchen knife have a little pointer on the end? Oh, you know, that's not legal here. Well, I'm gonna have to confiscate that, and I'm gonna have to send you to jail. Australian jail. Because I was turned Australian in the middle of that. I don't know how, but it did happen, and now we're in Australia. You got a license for that Australian knife, you little rapscallion. You little rapscallion, you. Got a literally most British moment of all time. You got a license for that, TV? Yeah, you got a license for that? Well, I see some glow, some faint LCD glows and coming from your window. You have a license for that TV there? I don't think you do. And we don't know you don't, so I'm gonna take you to jail. Keeps going to Australia. The fact that the TV license is not a meme blows my American mind. The fact that there is literally, like, a chance a police officer could unironically come to your house and be like,
We saw you had some light comment in there. We know you had TV. We know you did, and we know you don't have your license. All right, we know you're coming in there, and we're taking you to jail because we know you hadn't paid your TV license.
It's like, bro, TV licenses? Are you fucking kidding me? People are like, oh, the government doesn't want to over-encroach on people's rights. Meanwhile, in England, the government owns your TV. What the fuck? The fuck? How does that even work? Why? Doesn't that seem like an awful idea? There goes people by paying for public service broadcast directly rather than through central taxation projects, their editorial independence, which is at least plausible. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that's fucking bullshit. Type of a liquor made with herbs and such, I think, active ingredient and stuff like wormwood. Yeah, I love absinthe. Absinthe is the only alcohol I actually have in our house right now. They do not own your TV. No, but they own your soul. They're literally trying to ban kitchen knives. They're trying to ban kitchen knives. It's like... What? They're trying to ban kitchen knives, chat. The UK mind boggles the American. What would you get on your jacket potato if you went to Spud Bros in the UK? I don't know what... I mean, if we're talking about just like a baked potato, bacon, cheese probably, and maybe some chives. Not sour cream though, I hate sour cream. Sour cream is like only okay in certain situations where it's like mixed with something else, but sour cream on like a potato sucks ass. It's bad as New York City banning gas stoves. Didn't that fail like abysmally? That was stupid. Gas stoves are way better. You're too stiff to stretch? Was there a stretch redeem? I know you just want to see the belly. I just can't believe the absolute state of England right now. The absolute state of it. I can't believe they're over there fucking banning kitchen knives. Banning gas stoves seems way more legitimate than them banning kitchen knives, because at least gas stoves come with the inherent risk of running gas into your house that could potentially explode. But even then, I don't think you should ban either one of them. Go to license for that belly. Has not tried to ban kitchen knives? I mean, I've seen it. UK kitchen knives ban. Ban on knives, firearms, and service weapons. Oh, man. You can't buy Mall Ninja knives anymore? Look at this, chat. You can't buy Mall Ninja knives. I don't... Right. There was a, Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Kitchen knife ban, UK. Did you see the news in Germany? Some dude got arrested for posting some supposed racist cartoon stuff. Yeah, that was crazy. Germany's fucking taking a step back, dude. British politicians declared war on knives in 2018. UK knife law changes, in my opinion, and that I carry outdoors, you home delivers of online to be banned. What? Saying that weapons are in Switzerland extra 15. I don't even know. I'm not reading that right. Yeah, there's like I don't know if it's like an actual law that passed or if someone like tried to get it to pass, but there are generally there's like an effort to turn kitchen knives from like normal kitchen knives into like this. I don't know if it's passed or if it's gonna pass, but I've definitely seen like an effort to make it pass, which is just absurd. There's actually so many knife attacks in England though. That's like a problem. Like England has like a knife attack problem. Pointy kitchen knives, as there's no reason for them in modern world. It says Church of England. Is this real or is this fake news? This guy will know. Need common sense knife laws.
Creatures of the tubes. Damn, my hair looks ridiculous. I have to cut that. Anyway.
Yeah, Germany's like, oh no, a political party that we don't like. Let's ban it. The only thing I can find is this petition.
I've stumbled upon something ridiculous in the news. Old news by now, but still, just found that.
It's 11 years ago. I don't think they've actually gone ahead and banned them, but I don't really know. It's like I'm not that well versed in British politics, but I know it's something that is theoretically possible. And if you're gonna say that's not, well, that's silly. They would never do that. I would have never believed that a TV license was a real thing. If a TV license is a real thing, I 100% believe they would absolutely do that. And then people would be on board being like, what? You don't need the point. You don't need it. We don't have a knife attack problem. The knife attacks are way more common in the US. You just don't notice it because they're over eclipsed by gun crime. I think someone's just mad because they don't have any guns, and I have lots of guns. 4.96 knife murders per million people per year. UK 3.26 murders per million people per year. But isn't that really bad though? CRJ, you understand how much bigger the US is compared to the UK. If America is 100 times smaller than, or if the UK is 100 times smaller than the US, and this is just hyperbolic numbers, right? And there are 5 million stabbings per year in the US, and there are 4 million stabbings per year in the... per million people? Is it per capita? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. It's also like the gun crime, like... Whenever people talk about, like, the gun crime statistic in the US, and they fail to mention that 90%, or, like, a large percent of gun violence in the US is just people committing suicide. Which is sad, don't get me wrong. But if you're gonna talk about which country has a worse suicide problem, you probably need to look towards Korea. You know, these guys. There's over 50,000 knife incidents in the UK in 2024. We're talking per capita. Americans shot each other like civilized people. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather get shot than stabbed. To be honest. Very base smart cookie. Oh, thank you. Hoser dot, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, if you're gonna talk about, like, I don't know, people always like to say that America has a really big gun problem, but it's like a lot of that is really just violence and a terrorism, quote-unquote, problem. Like, terrorism happens all over the world. It doesn't matter which country you're in. It happens in Germany. Just happened in Germany not too long ago. Bombings in, like, someone bombed, like, an Ariana Grande concert in England not too long ago. Stuff like this happens all the time in every country. It's an education problem. We need to focus our education to make people not want to hurt other people. You know what I mean? A lot of people think the answer is take away guns, but when you take away guns, it doesn't take away the crime. Given the choice, person, I'd rather not be murdered at all, but hey. Yeah, but like, I'd rather, if someone's gonna try to murder me, I'd rather have a gun than a fucking knife. For a patience, governor, turn and stab. 1, 2, 3. We need more government control. I'm scared, and so I want to give away more of my rights. The government will know how to take care of me. The government always has my best interest at heart. I believe it. The government would never hurt me or actively disregard my needs for their own personal gain. They would never do that. They would never do that. The government is so perfect and innocent and cute. The government would never massacre its own citizens. My government is going to lower the price of eggs. I goddamn hope so. That's so petty, though. That's so petty. The fact that the last administration killed, like, millions of chickens just to fuck over egg prices for the next administration. That's so shitty. That's so petty. That is so petty. It's like, imagine being that petty and being the president of the United States. It's crazy. Yeah. I guess he's not the president anymore. Ayo. The bird population just needs to come back, which will take a few years. Yeah, I mean, it will come back. I mean, it will be fine, but it just is, it's ridiculous. It's like, you're actively hurting the American people over a spiteful grudge over the fact that you didn't get elected again. And that's just fucking shitty. Bird flu is a lie. Did they need to kill billions of, like, I don't know how the exact number. It was like millions of chickens that they killed. Was it really that much of a thing? Well, because I never really heard of there being a huge bird flu problem before that. And now it's all of a sudden, oh, we totally needed to kill millions of chickens right before the next regime change. That's not spiteful at all, is it? The U.S. government is cool now with the Trump in office. I mean, I'm holding my breath. I'm not... Listen, I'm very happy with how things are going so far, but I'm not... It could go bad. It could go south. I don't think that the current administration is above doing bad things. I think it's a little bit close-minded to say, oh yeah, the government's been horrible to us, but our new government, totally cool. We hope. We hope. We hope. You're gonna be illegal soon? Am I? Are they gonna arrest me and take me to jail where I'll get manhandled by big men with muscles? Is that gonna happen? When? Guantanamo. I don't know, man. I saw, like, Harold and Kumar, and when they went to Guantanamo Bay, it looked like there was a lot of dick sucking, and I can get behind that, I'm gonna be honest. I can get behind that one. Put that in perspective, 9 billion chickens a year are born in the U.S. The simple fact, CJ, you're missing the point. The simple fact is it was done out of spite to raise egg prices for the next administration. Like, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And if you're like, that's no way that's why they did that, then I would not put it past the last administration to do that. In fact, I would argue that it's significantly more likely that was done purely out of spite than any other reason, considering how they went about pardoning themselves at the last administration. They used the last, like, minutes of their administration before Trump was sworn in to, like, go behind their back and pardon a whole bunch of people just so that Trump couldn't do anything about it. And it was like, oh, that looks bad. That looks real bad. Oh, that doesn't look good. I don't think that happened at all. We know who the spiteful one is. Oh shit, man. Alarmist propaganda. If they did, I would be against it. Astra needs her HRT. Yeah, I mean, I do think there's a lot of people who are overreacting about the HRT stuff. I talked about this, like, last stream. It's like, genuinely, is a bunch of people. There's a lot of trans people who are like, fully think that their rights are being trying to take away, and I just don't think that's exactly true. I think as trans people, we need to focus on protecting our rights, but, like, the way we're doing it is not good. It's not right. It's not gonna help. You know, I don't think that, you know, the issue of minors getting, like, gender-affirming care is the same as protecting gender-affirming care for adults and everybody that's an adult. I think as like, the trans community needs to set firm boundaries. It's like, if they try to cross this, then we're not gonna let that happen, right? That's where it needs to be. Not instead of just, like, crying whale tears every time they try to make it so you can't read gay books in school. It's like, who cares? Who fucking cares? 9-year-olds probably shouldn't be reading about anal sex. I'm just saying. How would killing 15% of chickens in the USA have any significant effect on egg prices? I mean, obviously it did. I'm just saying, it fucking did. Because I went to the store today, and it was like 6 eggs for 8... It was 6 eggs, 12 eggs for $6. That's 30 cents an egg. It's cheaper to shoot a 5.56 round than it is to make one fried egg. That's a sad thing. That's, I don't know. His bottom pardons are probably damn shabby, but I don't ignore the ones Trump did immediately upon entering office. You mean the ones that he said he was going to do for years? Like Edward Snowden? Like the guy who made the Silk Road? Like the January 6th people that he said, yeah, these people were wrongfully imprisoned. I'm going to pardon them as soon as I get in office. Like, he did. Like, at least it wasn't like, I believe in the sanctity of law. I'm not going to pardon my son. I believe in the courts and justice. And then, oops, that was a lie. Oops. Oops, that one was a bit of a teensy little lie he just plucked in there. Fauci ended up killing a lot of people because of untested vaccines. Oh, he doesn't, he's just a silly goose. He doesn't need, just give him a little pardon. What? If you were a chicken farmer, you'd take any excuse to raise prices too? I don't think the chicken farmers are the problem. I think it's the people in between. It's like there are definitely people who want to raise prices. There's like, distributors who want to raise prices just because they can. I think there's a whole bunch of that. But honestly, like the American people can't take any more. It's like the American is too expensive. The price of eggs is too expensive. Obviously, that needs to go down. If it doesn't go down, there's gonna be problems. I know. We'll see. Politicians lie? People lie on the internet? I can't believe it. Trump is the biggest grifter and psyop of the decade. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Trump's a psyop or not. He could be. Could definitely be a psyop. But I don't care at this point because it doesn't matter. I have been entertained by this administration, and if nothing else, then I can say that it's been entertaining. Whether he's doing a good job yet, I don't know. I don't know yet. I can't say if he's done a good job yet, but he's entertaining at the very least, and I appreciate that. Because everybody knows you can't be an extremist if you're entertaining. Good job on lowering prices of eggs, Trump. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like, it's obviously why they killed those chickens. As obviously why they did that. It was just to raise egg prices right before Trump gets in office. Like, it was just spite. It was just all spite. And it's like, damn, you're going to hurt the American people. You're gonna make them suffer and pay more for essential items because you just wanted to spite the next administration. That's so fucked up. That's fucked up, chat. Why he keeps beating them? I mean, he didn't in 2020, but, I don't know, I don't know about that one. Create a problem to then solve? I don't think that's what Trump was doing I don't think that's what happened. I mean, it's very clear that the last administration hates the new administration and tried very hard to make life harder for the new administration. So if you're gonna try to be like, oh, no, it wasn't, it was because of the bird flu or blah, 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 that's an excuse. It is an excuse. They did it out of spite. It's obvious they did it out of spite. And now chicken eggs are 30 cents an egg because motherfuckers are spiteful in Washington. Thanks, Biden. Losing 2020 as part of the grander plan? Maybe, honestly, because if Trump had won 2020, he wouldn't have nearly as much power as he does right now. Trump has significantly more power now than he would have had in 2020, which is interesting. JD Vance made a leader in Munich cry. Good! I listened to that speech. It was pretty fucking hardcore. It was based. I liked it. I liked seeing JD Vance go up there and shit on European leaders. It was great. I heard several American bald eagles from the back of my head just go, yeah! America! Fuck yeah! Get fucked, America. Get fucked, Europe. Don't give a shit about you. America! Boom! I can tell if you're serious about your conspiracies. Trump in the election 2-0 versus women. He was 0-1 against a man. Trump only won because of misogyny. Facts are facts. I love the memes where it's like, the year's 2028, a woman is running for office, and then you just see Trump coming out of the back office like, no you're not. No you're not. Trump's been long dead. The year's like 2058. Some woman's like, I'm gonna run for office and be the first female president. And Trump's casket opens and he just like, it's my time. Think they off some chickens despite the current administration? Yeah, they did that. I'm pretty sure they did that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, chat. You know, I'm like, listen, I'm just an idiot. You guys shouldn't take everything I say as facts because I'm an idiot and I don't know half of what I'm talking about. So I could be very wrong. So just keep that in the back of your head. But it seems to me that it's very, very obvious that that was just a spite move. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Maybe there is a legitimate reason for it, but... Is there really? Is there really? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Trump is Elon's bitch? I think you got the power dynamic on that one mixed. I think Elon is Trump's bitch. Could have proof, yeah. That should be Trump's official defense. You cannot be extreme if you're entertaining, and Trump's entertaining. Watch old clips of him on SNL and Saturday Night Live. He's very entertaining. Exactly. It'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of the spread of the bird flu in the U.S. under Trump's governance. I doubt that's going to be a thing. I doubt that people will give a shit about that. My guess is you will never hear about the bird flu again. Again, I could be wrong. My guess is that is so far down on the list of things that people are going to care about in the next 4 years that no one is going to talk about the bird flu. No one's going to give a shit about it. If we end up, like, in a couple years being like, the worst bird flu epidemic in years! How could we not see this coming? What happened? Then I'll be like, alright, you were right. I'll admit. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get, like, a couple months out and people are going to be like, the bird flu, was that what happened in like 1920? Who's the bird flu? Who? Like, no one's gonna talk about the bird flu in a couple years. No one gives a shit about the fucking bird flu. People care about like real. Right now, I feel like, and especially in the next 4 years, I think people are gonna be more concerned about like the geopolitics. I think Trump is gonna make a genuine effort to acquire Greenland, and that might genuinely happen in the next 4 years. And that I think people are gonna be more focused on that than they are gonna be focused on the bird flu epidemic that doesn't exist. They're gonna be more focused on the other bullshit that Trump's doing, because there's gonna be a lot of change. I think there's gonna be a lot of change in the next 4 years, but it's not all of it's gonna be good. Some of it might be bad, but I think people are gonna be more focused on that than some bird flu epidemic. I don't believe is necessarily real. Wouldn't be surprised if the blue flu is China waging a silent warfare on the world and mostly the U.S. if you want to get conspiracies going. I mean COVID-19 came out of a lab. So, remember when they said that wasn't true and then it turned out it was? Oops. It's upside down world. Liberals want war and conservatives want peace. Well, yeah, it's a different world. The Democratic Party of today is a different Democratic Party than was around 30 years ago. The Republican Party of today is a different Democratic Party that was around 10 years ago. The Mitch McConnell Republican Party is dead and gone. It's not there. And you can tell that because Mitch McConnell has voted against every Trump nomination for, like, Secretary of Health, Secretary of Defense, and whatever. He's like one of the only Republicans who's voted against that, and it's because he's not on their team. Which is good. I don't like Mitch McConnell, so fuck it. I don't understand why on earth anyone thinks that the people of Greenland would consent to be governed by the USA. It's here, Jay. You gotta understand, the people of Greenland do not like Denmark. They hate Denmark. it would be an absolute benefit, like net benefit of the people of Greenland to become a part of the United States. It would be absolutely beneficial for them. Each and every one of them would become significantly more wealthy, and their quality of life would improve vastly if we made them a state. Denmark sucks. The people of Denmark, or the people of Greenland, hate Denmark. Because Denmark, like, did some fucked up shit, too. Like, I think it was in the 70s or something. Denmark went and put a bunch of IUDs and a bunch of women against their will. And so now there's a bunch of, like, native Greenland women who can't have children because of the Denmark government. Denmark also, like, took kids from Greenland and raised them in Denmark. And then those people came back to Greenland and hated Denmark again. They're like, Denmark fucking stole me for years. People, I'm not sure about a lot of things, but I'm pretty goddamn sure the people of Greenland hate Denmark. And it's like, I think I would, like, obviously you'd want them to be independent, right? Like, if the world was green and the grass was whatever, it would be nice to see an independent Greenland. But Greenland has less people than the state of Wyoming. There's no way that they can stand as an independent country on their own. They need subsidies from Denmark. They need them. They can't survive without those subsidies. So if you're going to say, oh, well, it's either Denmark or a U.S., because independence realistically isn't an option at the moment. At least I think. I'm retarded. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. But in my opinion, I think it would be very beneficial for them. But they did a poll on this January. Only 6% of Greenlanders are in favor of joining the U.S. I think that number would raise real quickly once they started to realize how much money they would make. Trump only cares about money and fellow billionaires. It cracks me up when non-billionaires think Trump is serving them in any way. Suckers are born every day, though. See, that's an opinion, man. That's an opinion. It certainly is an opinion. I'm not worried about chicken eggs. They've got chickens, all the eggs I want. Fuck the bird flu. They don't hate Denmark. I know a bunch of them. Most of them are fairly neutral. They'd rather be independent. I know most of them would rather be independent, but it just seems to me, and again, maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems to me that most Greenlanders hate Denmark. They do not like Denmark. But again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm Danish, but I do have some Greenlanders and relatively close family. Do they like Denmark? How do you like Denmark? Is Denmark cool in Denmark? When America leaves NATO, Europe will have to put the big boy pants on. Greenland's problem is being mainly covered by permafrost, not how small its population is. San Marino's population is smaller than Greenland, for example. I don't know. I think a lot of the problem with Greenland is they don't have the economic force to utilize their natural resources. Greenland has a lot of natural resources, like a significant amount. And if they had the money to delve in and like take advantage of those resources, then they would become really rich. It's just that they don't have enough money or manpower to actively like run a mining operation. If they had more, it's not a matter of there's snow in the way. It's a matter of they just don't have the funds to do it. And so if they had America who could fund all that shit for them, then they could significantly boost their own economic like prosperities if they just had some help from the U.S. to do that. But it's not something that they can do on their own. And it's not something they can do with the current subsidies that they get from Denmark. Greenlanders do not like Denmark. Hates Danes. Greenlanders do not like Denmark. Most Greenlanders are mostly neutral towards Denmark. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I do think that Trump is going to try to get Greenland, regardless. So we'll see what happens. But I feel like that might be something that we actually see. What's the carbide next to the Master Sword? That is a Austrian Mannlicher. This one's actually from Hungary, but it was made back when that was one country. Straight pull rifle. Really fucking nice. I have a couple of them here. I don't know if you've noticed. But I have that one. I have this one, which is a full size. This is how it originally came. This is a full sized one, chambered in the original 7.6 or 8mm by 8 by 51mm. But I also have 2 carbines here, and like this one, which is also a Mannlicher. This one was made in Austria though. This one was made in Steyr, so this one was made not in the Budapest factory. But this one used to look like that one exactly, but it was rechambered to a bigger caliber and shortened down to a carbine size. And yeah, that's what it is now. And now it's carbine. And then somebody at some point stamped a friendship windmill into the stock because they thought it would make the value higher. But fuck it. And then I've also got this one, which is an actual carbine that was made as a carbine instead of cut down, and it's still also in the original 8x50 rimmed cartridge. But this one is an actual purpose-built carbine. Like, this one was made as a carbine instead of made as a full-size rifle and then cut down later on. When minor difficult and being misled by Mercenaries projections, there's a lot more temperate zone than Arctic. Trump should just buy their votes if he wants Greenland. At 55,000 people, how expensive could it be? Actually, we would have enough money to pay each Greenlander like $1 million. Like, genuinely. Like, that would be in the budget. I don't think we should. But even if you offered every Greenland citizen $50,000 or $100,000 in cash, do you not think they would take it? I mean, I think they would. I think they probably would. And I think, honestly, I genuinely think that it would be better for Greenland if it was a part of the U.S. And maybe that's my stupid American opinion, but it is my right to have a stupid American opinion. And that is my stupid American opinion, that it should be a part of America. But I also think Canada should be a part of America, because those motherfuckers have been hogging all the goddamn corn syrup for too goddamn long. It's time we make them part of this country so we can get cheaper maple syrup. To the most of the world, money isn't everything. I would beg to differ about that one, CRJ. History tends to disagree with that opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you, CRJ. I don't think you're right about that. I think that's just straight up wrong, and that most people do care just about money. if history has taught me anything, is that, yeah, most people just, money is most everything. Guarantee you, if you offer people $100,000 each, they're not gonna be like, my national pride tells me I'm not going to do this. I'd rather be under Denmark's thumb. That's silly. That's silly. Come on. That's silly. Everywhere should be the U.S. No, I don't think everywhere should be the U.S. I don't think that's true at all. I just think that we should take Denmark. Not Denmark. Fuck it. We should take Cuba. We should take Haiti. And we should kind of make those into 3 states, so we'd have, like, the tri-state islands in Cuba, Haiti, and Puerto Rico, which would all become U.S. states, ideally. And then we would probably take Mexico and Panama, and the Ecuador and whatever other little shit countries are right there. And we would also take Canada. And then we'd have the whole North American continent to ourselves. And it would truly be just America. You want Haiti? I want the people of Haiti to not have to be struggling. That's what I want. If you want to know what I really want, I want the people of Haiti to be happy. But it's kind of like the whole thing about taking like every country in North America is a little bit kind of a meme, a little bit. But I do think that like places like Puerto Rico should not be a territory. It's like Puerto Rico should either be a state or they should be independent. And Puerto Rico could be independent. They have plenty of people in Puerto Rico. But if Puerto Rico should not be a territory. They should be either a state with representation or they should be independent. I think it's silly that they're like not. Oh, fucking almost lost that there. Astra, foreign policy advisor to President Trump. Yeah, it turns out we're just in America and we have so much geopolitical power that we kind of just do what we want. So let's just throw a 50% tariff on Canada and Mexico and say if you don't capitulate, we'll fucking not trade with you at all, and then they won't be able to do anything about it. What? They're gonna put boots in the ground in Canada? No, they're not. We don't have to. We don't have to. We can just say, oh, we're not giving you any more money. Oops. Oops, we ruined Canada because we just stopped giving them money. Oops. No, I mean, genuinely, I don't, like, I kind of, Canada's a bit of a different pickle. Like, I don't necessarily think Canada should necessarily become a state, because Canada, there is, as much as I feel like it'd be beneficial to both America and Canada if Canada became a state, I think that there are still people who have the right to be proud to be Canadian. You know, Canadian national pride, you can't deny people that. You can't deny, say, you're not allowed to have national pride anymore. And it's like, if Canadians don't want to become a state, and that's truly what they want, then they shouldn't become a U.S. state, right? It's like, they should at least have the ability to choose which country they want to be a part of. I do think it would be better for them, but I don't think it would be right to force Canada to become a state. You know, Canada is closing up against the EU now. You might lose your trade with Canada soon. Oh well. Oh well. Looks like we get our automotive industry back. Detroit's back on the menu, boys. That's the problem. U.S. doesn't care a shit about Canada and, like, trade with Canada. We don't get that much from them. On one hand, the USA represents 20% of gross product. On the other hand, if you force a country to choose between trading with 26% or the trading with the 74%, they're going to pick the 74%. True, yeah, but it would probably tank Canada if that happens. Like, if the reason why Canada, like, capitulated so, like, quickly on the 25% tariff thing is because that would have killed Canada. It would have been extremely bad for Canada if we tariffed them at 25%. It would have been brutal for them. But again, I don't think that's, like, I don't think we should do that either, but I also don't think we should just be, like, giving Canada money to exist. It's like we kind of gave them the automotive industry they have. It's like the reason why we have trade with Canada in the first place is because there's a lot of cars made in Canada and Mexico. But where did those jobs come from? They came from Detroit. If you drive through Detroit right now, it's like a shit show. And there's tons of abandoned buildings. The whole place is depressing. Because the automotive industry left. They went to Mexico and Canada. If Mexico and Canada all of a sudden said, we're not going to manufacture cars for you anymore, guess what happens to Detroit? Detroit becomes a hub for cars again. And it becomes an actual proper city. Poor Canadians, honestly. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be Canadian. I would not want to be Canadian right now. Again, what I want is I just want everybody to be happy. I want Canada to be as happy of a country as they can be. I want Greenland to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. And so if it was like, if Greenland being independent is truly what Greenland wants, then I think Greenland should be independent. But I don't think that would actually be what's best for Greenland. But I do think that it's up to them to determine what's best for them. And I don't think the U.S. should be saying, oh, you have to do what we think is right, because that's a little bit. But, you know. Can't believe Canadians at the recent hockey game booing the national anthem. And they got served for it. You'd say what you will about it, you don't boo the national anthem and then not get your shit pushed in. I'm just saying. Flint, Michigan is far worse, looks nuked. Yeah, imagine if our automotive industry came back to the Rust Belt. All of a sudden, there'd be more jobs in the Rust Belt, and all of a sudden, Detroit and Michigan would become a lot more valuable and profitable, and people's lives there would improve if we took back our automotive industry. Could you imagine that? Making things in the United States, paying U.S. workers to build U.S. products. Could you imagine that? If the automotive industry comes back, where's it gonna go? Is it likely to move to Mexico? Hell no, it's not. You know what happens if they try to take it to Mexico? We give Mexico a fat tariff, and they go, oops, not happening. You could get American industry back in the country if you want it. It's just a matter of if America is willing to do the things that it takes to get it back in the country. More muscle cars, exactly. It's up to Greenland to decide. That's what I think. I think that Greenland would be better as a U.S. state. I think that the people's lives in Greenland would be way better off. Same with Canada. But I can't blame Canadians for not wanting to give up their independence at the same time. I just think that they shouldn't expect us to subsidize their country. Canada needs to develop their own military capable of defending themselves. It shouldn't be our responsibility to defend Canada. We shouldn't be subsidizing them. We shouldn't be giving them industries that are once ours just so that they can make something. Trump changed the post-national Canadians into patriots again. Yeah. US automakers had their chance to produce quality cars. They sold out. Look at Stellantis. What? You don't understand, Astra. American workers are expensive and Mexican ones are cheap. I know. But do I care? No. Because guess what happens when you make shit in Americans? Americans make money. And I think that that's what's important. What happens when you make cars in Mexico? The Americans don't make money. You might get cheap cars, but think about how many, like, when you think about American auto manufacturing, do you really think of, like, a Chevy or a Ford as being the economy option? No. You think of fucking Honda and Japanese cars. I guess they're also made in Mexico too, though, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I think I don't think that America producing things in America is a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. Canada answered the U.S. retarded call to re-invade Iraq. Trump just wants more money for himself, so eventually he will be a legitimate billionaire instead of being what he currently is. I think that's a very narrow-minded view of things, Derek. I certainly don't think Trump cares about money. I think Trump cares way more about his legacy than about anything about money. I certainly just don't think he cares that much about it. It seems obvious to me that it's not exactly what he's doing. I mean, I'm sure that Trump isn't a saint, right? But I just think that saying billionaire bad because billionaire is a bit of a narrow-minded way of looking at it. Not saying that Trump is a good person or not an asshole, because he probably is, but he made it so I can't get drafted, and I appreciated that. As much as I love guns, I don't want to shoot anybody. Astra, American fanboy patriot. Abso-fucking-lutely. You well-behaved controversial chat. You're good at this. Thank you. I always like doing political chats. I always find it fun. I always have the most fun when I'm talking about politics. And I know people get like upset when I talk about politics, but I always try to remind people that it's like, I'm just an idiot on the internet. My opinion doesn't mean anything. I don't hate people who disagree with me. I don't dislike people who I don't dislike Democrats. I don't dislike anybody who disagrees with me. I like it when people disagree with me, because I like challenging my own opinions. And I think it's good to challenge your own opinions, because if you never challenge your own opinions, then you'll always be closed-minded. It's like if I were to get into an argument with somebody about gun control, before I do that, I'd have to be willing to accept that I could be wrong about gun control. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and I have to be willing to hear the other person out on their point of view, and really think about it, and accept that it could be true. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just being like, I'm not listening to your argument, because I don't want it to be true. And so it's like, that's closed-minded, you know? I think you're pretty smart. Oh, thank you. If I hear me man voice, can it be Christopher Walken? I don't know if I can do 2 minutes of Christopher Walken. Heads is white up my ass for 7 years. Yeah, no, I can't do that. My throat will fucking kill me. Astra would be the first to drink the Trump Kool-Aid, no questions asked. I don't think... I'm way more skeptical than I think you think I am. I'm not like a Fox News pundit. I'm not like Trump can do no wrong. He is a saint sent by God. Like, of course not. That's silly. Come on. He's just a human being, just like the rest of us. How do you call yourself a patriot but fucking run away from the idea of military service? I would defend America if someone was on American soil. Like if Russia or China was on American soil, I'd be like, sure, I'll go to the front lines. I just don't care about fighting useless wars in the Middle East that mean nothing to the U.S. people. I care about fighting for the U.S., not for some third world country that doesn't mean anything to the U.S. Like I think dying in a field somewhere in Ukraine is not serving my country. I think that the military-industrial complex has some problems in it, and it's got some corruptness, and it's not good. And I don't think just by serving in the military-industrial complex, you're doing that much of a good job. That being said, I do think anybody who actually serves in the military and like goes overseas and fights overseas, you absolutely are like base as fuck. Like I've known enough vets to do that. I respect the shit out of veterans. But you also have to understand, as I'm like a bitch, and I am not like, I am not meant for that. I'm just not. I'm not built for that shit, man. I'm not built for it. And it's like, I'm not gonna try to claim that I'm like as much of a patriot as someone who literally fought in like a firefight for this country. That's a bit different, right? It's like if you've been in Iraq or Afghanistan and you've taken fires, you've lost friends, like it's like I don't know. I don't like the U.S. military. I like the U.S. soldiers, and I like veterans, and I think that they deserve better. Yeah, I'm just turning into my political speech stream, chat. I feel like I'm running for office. Vote for Astra 2028. We do well in the Navy side with all the men. Ukraine serves as a buffer state against Russia for our interests in Europe. True. But I also don't think Russia's that big of a threat. I think Russia's kind of a nothing burger. I mean, obviously they could have... it's been, what, 900 days into the 3-day special operation? I just don't care about them as much. I think American dollars are better spent in other parts of the country, of the world, in terms of defense. I also just don't think that me going to Ukraine and dying in a field in Ukraine is really what's gonna help America. It's like, vote for Astra. I double dog dare you, do it. Yeah, next election, write in my name. Can you get 2 minutes for Trump voice? Believe me, Astra, the best fanboy. Everybody's talking about it. I tuned into an Astra stream and I was like, wow, what an amazing streamer. Astra, the best streamer of all time. Totally knows what they're talking about. The best stream. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's saying, wow, what a great streamer Astra is. Could I get to... If you respect vets, you would not have voted Trump. I can damn you so many instances of Trump shitting on us. I don't know about that one, buddy. I don't know about that. Every veteran that I've ever known has been so hardcore into Trump. And plus, there was that one instance where they said, there was like, they reported that Trump said that veterans were suckers on D-Day, and it turns out that was just completely false. That was like a complete lie. Didn't happen at all, and then people just like fucking regurgitate it, like, look at what Trump said, and it's just not true. I don't know. It's like, from my perspective, it looks like Trump has done a lot more for veterans than the past administration has ever even considered to do. I don't know. Remember, it's only 35 years since the Cold War ended, and the great swaths of Europe, which used to be under communist control, are no longer are. They don't see Russia as a nothing burger. I guess that's true, but like, look at Russia's military performance in the past 2 years. Look at how much they've taken. Look at how much progress they've made against a country that was not even first world. This is like a second world country that was not even had its own independence for like over 20 years. It's under 20 years old. It's probably not. It's probably over 20 years old, I guess. It's probably older than me. But it's like there are many people in this chat who are older than the state of Ukraine, and yet they are handling Russia in a way that they have been able to withstand their onslaught for 2 years, and they've barely given up any land. And it's like, Ukraine is never going to win this war, right? They're never going to flat out win this war and get back everything they want. But you have to understand, Russia just simply is not a military force that I think could rival the U.S. in any capacity. I think we could win a war against Russia in 2 weeks. Russia's military reputation is in tatters, unfortunately. They still have nukes. They do still have nukes. Trump has been the only one of the last, I think, 10 presidents who didn't send troops to war, if I'm not mistaken. This is true! Yeah, that's just true. It's a meat grinder operation to kill natives, Russians, and Ukrainians. Yeah, it's probably true. It's a bit sad. It's kind of just... I do think that it's a sad war and it needs to end. I kind of agree with Trump's, like, position on it, where it's like, this shit needs to stop, like, yesterday, because people are dying en masse, and no one even, like, cares. It's like, Ukraine isn't even getting half of the aid that we've sent them. Most of it's just been laundered. It's fucked up. It's real fucked up, and people are dying, and I think it's sad. I don't like people dying. You gonna wear this kitty socks again? At some point, yeah. I can't see Russia's controversial forces as a threat to any European nation, save the Baltic republics. Here's a question for you. Are you willing to bet your life that the nuke Russia fires at Cape Canaveral will be dud? If not, worry about Russia. I think that's a silly thing to be worried about. We're not living in the Cold War anymore. I do think nuclear threat is a real thing. And I think that's a thing that we have to like contend with, is nuclear threats in this world. But I think I don't think that anybody wants to do that. I don't think Putin is so insane that he's gonna say, "Oh, fuck it, whole world, get fucked. We're just gonna send all of the old Soviet nukes everywhere." I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not that worried about Russia. I honestly don't think that Russia should be seen as like this ultimate enemy. There are people in Russia who are good people. Like Putin is a bad guy, right? He's a shithead. But there are people in Russia who are good people. Like there are decent people there that deserve a better life. And it's like, I hate the idea that's like, oh, Russians are bad. Bad Russians. We need to be afraid of Russians. Fuck, dude. Why can't we work together? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we, like, have a society, a world where people don't just hate each other because they have to? You know what I mean? Like, could we live in a world where it's like, we can just get along and not hate each other? Ashley, do you believe Trump when he says he wants everyone in the U.S. to be rich? I do believe that. I do believe that he wants that. I think Trump genuinely Trump doesn't care about money. You gotta understand about this. Trump cares about his image. He wants to be seen as the next Abraham Lincoln or McKinley. I think he's going for a McKinley vibe. Not the people, the government. The Russian government's a problem. Trump hated McCain, who served and was a war POW, so much that he was stupid on unnecessary things like forcing the USS McCain not to be in photo ops. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. If you're gonna talk about veterans and like specific veterans, I don't see, from my perspective, I see most American veterans supporting Trump with way more than the opposite. It's pretty rare, I think, to see a U.S. veteran who is against the current what's happening right now. You want the link? Sure, send it to me. Absolutely, DM it to me. I'll absolutely look at it. It's just I'm skeptical. I'll just say that I'm skeptical. Russian citizens don't want any part of it, yet the war continues. Sadly, not their choice. True. It's not how it goes. Russia decides to use the battlefield, nukes in Ukraine, then the West gives Ukraine the means for nuclear retaliation. Then Russia says it's threatening them, the nukes Ukraine, then some other countries retaliate, and then everything goes boom. Yeah, but that's just, if you start thinking that way, and you start thinking, oh, well, everything's gonna chain reaction into a fucking global nuclear meltdown, it's like you won't be able to do anything if you're always so worried about that. Like, that, there's always gonna be that threat. But that's not gonna do us any good if we just sit there and be like, oh, Russia's such a huge threat. I think China's a bigger threat to U.S. and U.S. national security than Russia is. Bring back mutually assured destruction. I'll send it. All right, I will read it once you send it to me, reindeers. How did that Kool-Aid taste, Astra? Come on, if everyone is rich, then Trump is no longer rich. Trump doesn't want that. Derek, that is such a bad take. I'm sorry, Derek. That is a really rough take. That is, I firmly believe Trump just wants everybody to fucking suck a chode, Trump obviously is like, you're viewing Trump as this like comical bad guy that's just like, if I wouldn't do this, because if I did this, the American people would benefit, and I hate the American people. It's like, that is, come on, bro. I think that's not a good way of looking at it. I think Trump, and for better or worse, again, really cares about his image. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about anything else. He cares about how people are going to remember him 100 years from now. And so he's trying to be an ex-McKinley. He's trying to end wars and take territory. That's what he's trying to do. And maybe get a mountain named after him or some shit that will eventually get renamed and then get renamed again back to his name. The U.S. would never give a nuke capability to Ukraine. Yeah. Ukraine war is over, and Europe isn't invited to the table. Why are you so negative and cynical, Jen? I think it's not a bad thing to be negative and cynical sometimes. It's good to challenge people's beliefs and ideologies. I think it's like if someone's really hard, strong on something, it's good to challenge it and be like, well, what about this, you know? Trump is not clever enough to be a bad guy. He just wants to hobnob with the ultra-rich. I don't think that's not my interpretation of him and how he is acting, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. They're gonna put him on Rushmore, and then the Dems will come and destroy it. He cares about his legacy, but he cares more about money as well as it's in his DNA. I think he cares about money, but I think he really cares about his legacy. I think when you have Trump money, the number doesn't matter because you really have unlimited money at that point. I think what matters is your legacy. At that point, it's like that's what Trump cares about. He cares about the Trump name. He doesn't care about anything else. 100% people won't remember Trump. Now that is a bad take, medical. 100 years people are gonna remember Trump. They are gonna. This has been one of the most historical elections in the past like 100 years. He's really getting up there. The simple fact that he got elected 2 non-subsequent terms means that he's going to be remembered in 100 years. He just will be. The amount of political upheaval and the political comeback has already put him in the history books as somebody who is going to be remembered in 100 years. I don't think most people might not know who he is necessarily, like McKinley. Like if you go in and say, what do you know about President McKinley? People are going to be like, who? But you know, that doesn't mean that people don't know who he is or remember him. Because you see Trump worrying more about his image than his legacy more than his money. Yeah. I think he thinks his money is a way to get his positive image, but is aware that the gold toilets don't actually impress people. I don't know. I think you give him too much credit. I doubt if any of his if any of his ideas, you doubt any of the ideas he has are his. I mean, you could be right. You could be wrong. I could be giving him too much credit. I do like to think positively, and I do want to support, like, I want the president to do well. He is the current president of the United States, and I hope that he does a good job, and I want him to do a good job, and I think that there's a chance that he might. But you know, there's also a chance he might not. So he might just fuck everything up, and maybe everybody who was so worried about him was correct, and that everything's gonna fall apart. But it could also not happen, and it could also be great. Being remembered is not always a good thing. Just ask the German Reich Chancellor of 1939. Hey, I have a German pistol that was made in 1939. Look at that. This thing is so fucking cool. I love this thing so much. Trump knew Russia was paying bounties to insurgents for killing U.S. soldiers. Trump could have had the chance to really fuck over Russia for doing such shady shit, but he turned a belly up. Maybe. I don't know enough about it. Don't say I have less money than I say I do. Jensen tells THR that his kids were fair game, his wife was fair game, and I remember one of my jokes about his casino business falling, and I could feel that hurt coming off of him. He didn't like the joke, and I told him about the people being glad he has cancer. He says it in amazement. What? Where are you copying and pasting this from, Derek? Where is this coming from? You realize a lot of things can happen 100 years, like AI, technology, and space travel. True, but presidential elections are usually pretty remembered. Yeah, it's not fair. You can't really compare Trump to AH. You can't compare Trump to the funny Australian, or not Australian. You can't compare Trump to the funny Australian painter. Just like the funny Austrian painter, but with an L. It's like you can't really compare him. They're two different things. Hollywood Reporter. I feel like this is the Kool-Aid, bro. The Hollywood Reporter. This is This is the least credible website I've ever seen in my life. Nothing tells me, like... I feel like nothing is... I feel like this is very obviously extremely biased. I don't... who is Ryan Parker? I think that he's probably not cool. I don't care about what this guy thinks, to be honest with you. Get a license for that world quest. The reliable source is Fox News. Absolutely not, dude. Fox News is so full of shit. Even I wouldn't read that as a source. Early life check. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna not do that one. I'm just gonna not do that one. I'm just gonna not do that one. I feel like doing that one's a good way to get gonked. Fox News isn't any worse than any of those other places. Fox News is just as... they're owned by the same company. You understand that CNN and Fox News are owned by the same company. It's like... I don't listen to biased news. I listen to Fox News. I don't listen to biased news. I just listen to NPR. If you get your news source from one place, you're biased. There's not a single news source that's not biased. Not a single one. I only get my news from 4chan, you're biased. I only get my news from CNN, you're biased. I only get my news from CNBC, whatever the fuck, you're biased. Everybody's biased. I'm biased, you're biased, everybody's biased. You can't get out of the bias. Murdoch and CNN is owned by Warner. Where's the... Let me look this up real quick. CNN... Wiki. Let's go Fox News. Wiki. You don't think those other places that use anon sources, you're kidding yourself? Team Joe Rogan Echo Chamber, I'm not ashamed. Joe Rogan's such a fucking knobhead, though. Joe Rogan's an idiot. I like Joe Rogan, but goddamn, sometimes you just fucking... okay, headquarters, owner News Corporation. News Corporation, and they own... Wait a minute. CNN is owned by Warner Bros. Warner Bros is owned by... Traded predecessor Warner Bros. Revenue division subsidiaries. Who owns Warner Bros? Exactly. That's what I like. The man, he's for the people, by the people, of the people, but the people. There are news sources that don't use anonymous sources. Hilariously, one of them is NPR. NPR is biased, but what they report on news comes from primary sources. All right, who owns Warner Bros? Murdoch family. Let's see who owns. Warner Bros. Is owned by Warner Bros., which is formerly merged with Warner Bros. Media and Discovery. The company public traded means is owned by its shareholders. I'm pretty sure they're all both mostly controlled by BlackRock, if I'm being honest. I don't know how true that is, so maybe I'm wrong about that, but like last time I checked. Well, here, let me look. BlackRock subsidiaries list. That's all of those places. See, look at chat. Look at chat. This low-res image says so, then it must be true. It must be true if this, like, 240p, image says so. Flying close to the sun. We've been flying close to the sun for a hot minute now, bro. BlackRock owns my soul. Reindeers, you should have posted that in my DMs. This is, I don't know, man. This looks pretty liberal. This looks pretty liberal. Anytime someone gets their, like, news source from, like, one of these opinion piece websites, like Wall Street Journal, it's like, come on. Perfectly believable source. An aircraft carrier captain looking out for his shipmates during a pandemic is criticized by a dude that thinks injecting disinfectant will get rid of the virus. Press X to doubt. I don't think that company owns much of any of those, but they might have a lot of influence over them. They might have the primary share in a lot of them. And most of them. That's probably what they're referring to. All I know is that they do have a significant amount of power and own most things in the world, so. Literally a veteran news source. Just because something says it's a veteran news source doesn't mean it speaks for the veterans. Like, that's... It's like, oh, it says veteran on the news header. Obviously, it must actually speak for veterans, right? At least in the UK, there's a proud tradition of journalistic independence. When John Humphreys retired, one of his colleagues said that he was the greatest compliment they could pay him was that they'd worked with him for decades and still don't know where his personal policies lay. British politics are like enforced biased by the government, because like the primary news source in the UK is the BBC, which is owned by the government. BBC was getting money from USAID? Fucking lol. So you're telling me that not only was British television biased towards the British government, but they were also being psyoped by the US. Get psyoped, nerd. Do people not know the word veteran has a wider meaning than just the military one? What? Where my coworkers, despite being openly transphobic, know my political leanings. Just like when Astra says Mountain Dew is good to hydrate, doesn't mean it's true. This is true, it's true. It looks like a very biased source. It does look like a very biased source. Is there one of those, hold on. Alternative foreign Veterans Today. Looks like if there's a bias rating. I don't trust that either, to be honest with you, but... Actually, does Ground News say? I don't trust Ground News either, to be honest with you, but fuck it. No, you get it. Yeah, okay. Let me just fucking copy and paste this bullshit. I literally can't search for anything on here. This fucking stupid website. This fucking shit sucks, goddammit. Oh, goddammit, whatever, fuck it. I know Trump is in no way dodged the draft. Did he do the, fuck, what was that guy's name? That one pop star, like, rock star in the 60s who dodged the draft by shitting himself on command? It's neat to see people using Ground News, at least. I don't trust Ground News. I think it's I don't think people should only use Ground News. I feel like it's still possible for Ground News to be biased, but I feel like it's easier to get a rough estimate of where people land, or certain websites or articles land. I would trust Astra News opinions. There are many commentary channels on YouTube, and many of them are successful. Check out Cheeto's channel, and Astra's commentary style and take is quite similar. Yeah, I mean, obviously political commentary is hot right now. I mean, look at fucking Hassan Piker. I fucking goddamn hate Hassan Piker. So I literally just, I'm this close to just saying fuck it and making like a video about why Hassan Piker is stupid. But I haven't done it yet. I haven't decided yet. Ted Nugent, that's the guy I'm thinking. Yeah. He like practiced for weeks beforehand so that he could shit himself on command when the fucking recruitment officer came around. Every time Astra says they hate Hassan Piker, it feels like there's a little bit of attraction in there. I don't know, man. I wouldn't say that. There's a good reason why I don't like Hassan Piker. And so I'm a little biased on that one, and I admit it, but I don't care. Also, Hassan Piker is like literally a communist, and fucking... it's fucking communist, dude. They're all everywhere. What's with communism? Why are people communists nowadays? Why are so many people just like, I love communism? Did they not look at how bad that went for Pol Pot? Believe nothing and trust no one. Look at Astra, 3 hours of streaming and not being a citing EPS. You know what? Maybe it's the political streams. Boobs and Buff were trying to keep me away from the political streams, but I should delve deeper into the political streams because fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Viewers and money be damned. I just want to talk about silly orange man. I don't even know who the person is other than hearing their name. It's all about having good sources and being able to trust them. Like that one time Danish counter spies caught an American spy trying to spy on the Danish government. Getting trustworthy sources can be very difficult. Yeah, I don't trust any source completely though. I think just finding a trustworthy source is a bad thing. I think I take every source into consideration and draw my own conclusions about what I think. I'm not gonna parrot someone else's opinion. If I read someone else's opinion and it's like, this is my opinion, I might agree with that opinion, but I'm not gonna just copy and paste it. Like, a lot of people do that. They'll have, like, reindeers, don't link news sites in the chat. DM them to me, please. But, like, fuck. What was I talking about? Like, I feel like a lot of people just listen to one news source and they just parrot the opinions on that news source. Like, they'll listen to one guy talk about politics and, like, Philip DeFranco or whatever, and they won't listen to anybody else, and they'll just be like, I trust this guy, so I'll listen to anything this guy says, and then you just become a parrot of that guy's political opinion. Just like, eh. We should delve more into your boobs if you want that money. And that guy that oversaw Bin Laden raid in Phillips rescue says Trump's a shitbag. Trump might be a shitbag. I just don't trust that, reindeers. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not trust that. I trust the veterans I know and talk to, and they are not that way. They do not think that way. I've known veterans, dude. I like one of my good college buddies I had in school was a fucking veteran. He literally was overseas in Afghanistan, and it's like I absolutely like trust his opinion more than some news article. Like, it's just I don't know, and it's gonna be hard to like say that Trump's the bad veteran pick, especially considering that Biden had the worst pullout of Afghanistan of all time. Like, there is no reality where you look at the way that America pulled out of Afghanistan and says, oh, that was a success. No, that was horrific. American soldiers died because of that. And so it's like, you're gonna say, which is the American candidate for veterans? The one that, oh, some people said he said some things, or one that literally had the worst pullout of, like, military, like extraction of all time? Are they talking to a vet right now? Well, thank you for your service. Different vets have different opinions. I know the vets I personally know and have talked to, like, in face-to-face have not been that way. I think that there are certainly veterans who are different opinions, obviously, but not a lot of them have. Most everyone that I know is certainly, it was 100 times worse than Nam. Every veteran I worked with closely died of cancer, just saying. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was a fuck up. I have no idea what anyone thought was going to happen. That was like a human rights tragedy. Seeing, like, Afghanis fall from the planes as they're trying to escape depression, it was horrible. That was like one of the worst stains on American, like, I guess it's not one of the worst stains in American history, but in terms of the Biden administration, one of the worst moments in his administration. It was, at least publicly, that was such a fucking fuck up. That was such a bad look on all of America. If you want to DM Astra, use Discord. Yeah. Do you know Stu Peters? I do not. I gotta do some digging about the Afghan pullout, but it was already in the works the way that it was prior to Biden's. Oh, no, I don't think that we shouldn't have pulled out of Afghanistan. Don't get me wrong. We should have pulled out of Afghanistan. We just shouldn't have left billions of dollars worth of American equipment there. Or, you know, people. We left a lot of people in Afghanistan who helped us and were, like, on our side. And we just said, bye! Hope you don't get executed. Or actually, I don't care. Bye! And, like, that was fucked up. There are... Any extraction that causes the death of American soldiers, bad. Bad. It was horrible. There's no coming back from that. Obviously, I think we should have extracted from Afghanistan. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with how we did it. Good night, robot. This isn't Helen Starship Troopers. Non-veterans have an equal say. This isn't Starship Troopers. Do you want to be a citizen? Then enlist today. That's what I'm saying. The way it played out was already worked out prior to Biden. No, I don't think that the way it worked out was done prior to Biden. I think to blame the failures of the Afghanistan pullout on the previous administration is insanely short-sighted. That's just like, no, that wasn't. I know it happened during our president, but that wasn't our president's fault. That was someone else's fault. It's like, of course, that was like. That was Biden. That was a totally Biden thing that he did. The episode of Astra is stressful yet compelling. Biden could have and should have changed it then. There is a struggle for my attention between you and Joe Schmo show. Darn it, you are losing Astra to the fake reality shows. Do some bussy or talk or naughty talk or something. This political talk is making all the gooners in chat get antsy. It's been too long since they've seen my butt. First down bad. Political Astra streams rock. Hell yeah. This is my next see, I'm gonna become I'm gonna get another I'm gonna get popular, chat. I'm gonna become famous but by my politics. Everybody, I'm gonna rub it in Boobs and Buff's face when I become a famous political streamer, and after they told me not to talk about politics for so long. The Nightmare of Afghanistan has been a shit show for 200 years. The one superpower after another, the U.S. entered with no clear exit plan, and there was no regime that they could install that would be friendly to the U.S., let alone peaceful, so they were stuck. I don't know that an exit could have been orchestrated very much better. It feels like the USA was stuck in a never-ending mess of their making. No, I think there was always going to be a complicated exit, but I don't care if it would have cost more money to get all of our equipment out of there. It might have cost more money to do that, but it would have been worth it. It would have been taking our time and getting everything out, people out, civilians who like need protection out, and mostly all of our equipment, our billion-dollar jets that we just left there with the keys to the ignition. No, that was a fuck up. That wasn't just a that's always been a shitty region. No, that was a fuck up. Hey, thank you, Tracy, for the $40.
Political talk in GV.
Political talk in GV. I was gonna end the stream, but now I'll go for next year. I'll do some political talk in girl voice. Jets don't have keys. That's fake news. I believe they have in my head canons. Jets have keys. I served with a moron that thinks homosexuality biologically makes no sense, but incest is a-okay. Was he from Alabama? I need more of an effort from you. The Joe Schmo has a rock climbing wall and a goat. I don't know what's going on, but I'm intrigued. I don't know what else I can do other than just be like, look at the belly. Bellystra. Is this working? Am I getting attention back? Is this working? If I just keep the tummy out, does this work, chat? If I just do a tummy stream, if I just write my if I write my political views on my belly, is that gonna just be like, communism is stupid? Fucking go. The incest moron came from Tennessee. Guess who was an outspoken supporter for?
That's a bit of a weird thing to be in outward supportive. I'm not gonna lie. Strap penis on my tummy, yeah. this is my political views. It's just like a dick. Communism is better than fascism. I think they're both bad. But I don't think modern people know what fascism is. I feel like a lot of people always throw around the word fascism without any idea of what actual fascism is. If Astra tried to convince us communism was stupid and gross, it might work with me. Communism is fucking stupid. It doesn't even work. Like, communists, even the original communists were like, communism won't work unless the whole world is communist. And that's never gonna happen. You can't have a one world government. People are too different, to have too many different needs. You can't have one government control the whole world. It just doesn't work. And it's like, if the communists themselves says it won't work unless everybody's on board, then it's completely dead in the water from the get-go. Most people also don't know what communism was. True. The commentary channels, even the slot videos, get impressive numbers on YouTube. Astra could do the same. She could continue with the cute femboy stuff, but also expand the type of content. Well, I've always been like, that's always kind of been my brand. I feel like people have always known that I'm the more like edgy, you know, right of center femboy, right? That's kind of like always been my vibe. I mean, I do the whole gun thing. Like, you can't, it's like, I always try to like be somewhat politically vague, but like, you can only be so much politically vague and own 30 guns. Like, there's only so much political vagueness that you can have. The 4chan fanboy. Thank you, Malbec Vinalba for the follow. Pretty sure weirdos and pervs are found in every political viewpoint. True. But you know what? A lot of Republicans are down bad for trans people. What do you have underneath the jacket? Absolutely nothing. That's what I have underneath the jacket. I don't have anything on. A lot of MAGA are down with trans people only because they view them as bad, which is sexy. They don't equal rights. I think that's a bad way of looking at things. I think that's not really accurate, but you know, whatever. It is a nice necklace. I love this necklace. It's got a palm tree on it. Fuck Reagan? Yeah, I don't really know that much about Reagan. I know that boomers like him, but I don't really know if he was a good president or not. I haven't looked into his bullshit. I do know that he fucked up a lot of things, though. The war on drugs is dumb. We lost the war on drugs, so I don't know. Even if you're down bad for trans, that doesn't stop them from making your guy's life hell, but you do. But you do you. Careers for Palestine is hilarious in that regards. Yeah, that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. The donkey's at the top of the rock, climbing the wall. Be right back. We're losing Derek. We've lost Derek. I think we've lost Derek. It's tragic, but we lost him. I do love my palm trees. I love my palm trees a lot. The donkey is winning? What fucking reality show are you watching right now? What the fuck? What the fuck are you watching? What? There's donkeys and whatever the fuck you're talking about. I don't even know what. Have you ever tried to ride a donkey? No. I've ridden a horse before, but I've never ridden a donkey. Such a different vibe to switch from girl voice to serious to comedy. It's a rock climbing ass after all. That's pretty good. I'd have to amp up the sexiness too much. You know, donkeys are also called jackass. Yeah, I know. Do it actually turn it into a YouTube video? I might. I probably will. I want to try. Like, I really want to post more on YouTube. I think that would be really fun. I just need to get like a plan together and just follow through on that plan. Joe Schmo show. Everyone is on the prank except for the Schmo. Oh, I see. I'm on mobile, so I don't think I could DM you that Reuters link about Admiral of Criticism of Trump, but check your Discord. I'll look into it. Ugh. People are choosing donkeys over Astra. People are choosing donkeys over Astra or asses. Thank you, Cherries. Imagine someone saying I'm riding a jackass, but they mean a donkey. Fuck. Yeah, I don't think most people don't call them jackasses anymore. I think they mostly just call them donkeys. Burro is just a donkey in Mexican, right? Something like that. Quit talking about BB Astra? What? What the fuck are you talking about? BB equal BB equals Bavaria. That's what we're talking about. Really, when we're talking about Bat Vibes, we're just code word for Bavaria. How do we end up with Bavaria? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Asher went shopping or went to the post office. I did go to the post office, and I did go to Walmart. I didn't get very much at Walmart, but I did get some pepperoncinis. Huh. Donkey, horse, crossbreeds are mules? Yeah. Go with some real food. I will after the stream. I don't know if I want to try making some pizza rolls or if I want to make a pizza. I haven't decided yet. Joshmo about to climb the rock wall. I hope the dumbass falls hard. The host is listening to a goat for directions. Come on, you dumbass Joshmo. What the fuck? These fucking peppers are good. She had at least 10 of those peppers. They're fucking good, man. What do you want from me? It's going on 3:20. You need another hour for the good stuff? What's the good stuff? Fuck, dude. Oh, 420? Listen, it's 420 somewhere. Alright, chat. Well, I think I'm gonna end the stream there. I think I still owe Tracy another 10 minutes of girl voice, so I'll do that on the next stream. But Raid, I'm not signed into my Twitch account. Can I just log into my Twitch account really quick? Is it gonna let me do that? Token. Ah, fucking authenticator app. Motherfucker. My phone is still updating. Give it a second. Thanks for the stream. Bad shit's online. We doing more politics tomorrow? I don't really know. We'll see. I might do more politics. Well, I kind of just play it by ear. I just do what I kind of want. I think if I'm gonna do more politics, I'm gonna make like specific videos on politics. Like
Like, I'm gonna actually make, like, a proper video on it, and, like, that's, like, I can kind of back up, you know, and do, like, a lot of research for. So I'm not just going online and just saying a bunch of random bullshit. Yeah, I don't see anybody live with the femboy tag. Just a lot of VTubers again. It's always just VTubers. Many such cases. Many such cases. Alright, anyway, chat. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll be live again tomorrow. You were doing well navigating chat, answering questions. See, I feel like I was doing really well. I liked it. I like talking about politics. Anyway, chat. Thank you everybody. I'll play some guitar next stream. Thank you everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!